Tonight, I'm going to teach you guys how to build an inventory that makes dollars and makes sense. We get all enamored with flashy units. Our eyeballs get bigger than our brains, and we go a little crazy and we spend too much money. So tonight, we're going to slow it all down and we're going to discuss what to buy and when to buy it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the greatest freaking business show on earth. This is Booze and Biz. My name is Nick Glassett, and I am your host. Tonight, I'm drinking beer out of a Buc-ee's koozie. No, we're not sponsored by Buc-ee's. I just freaking love them. So shout out to Texas. First Buc-ee's I ever went to was the real deal in Texas. All right, I know they're everywhere now, but I'm an OG, okay? Let me know in the comments what you guys are drinking. I want to know what you guys are sipping on in the comments. So if you're on live right now, if it's not alcoholic, that's cool. That's cool. But if it is, let me know. If you guys are watching the taped version, just let me know. What are you guys drinking? Gatorade? What do you got? What do you guys like to sip on? If there's anybody can prove to me right now, this second, that they're drinking wild turkey bourbon, I will send you a beer koozie, a jump off beer koozie, and a jump off shirt. You got to prove it to me though. I need proof. Okay. So you guys might notice also that I'm looking extra sharp tonight. Yes, it's the hat that's making me look so handsome. Check that thing out. State 48 crushed it on these hats. My guys are freaking out over them. I didn't think that this one with the red would be like super. I only had her make 2 of these, and my guys lost their minds. So Trevor got his hands on one, and then I took the other one. So the rest of the guys get the regular leather patch, but it's a Richardson 112. It's real deal, custom leather patch. So classic. And check this out, freaking 30% off for you guys if you go to their site and use promo code JUMPOFF. I'm going to do you guys even better. I'm going to give you the link to go to the site, and it already has the promo code in there for you. Boom, done. And then let me get you Facebook. I can't forget about you, Facebook. It's telling me that the video ended though. I think I'm screwed. Oh, no. I can comment. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put it in there. I don't know what's happening with that, Facebook. It always tells me the video ended. So anyways, I pressured her to start the store early so I could get my hats and get them out to you guys. So she doesn't have a proper Shopify store yet. So she's still operating off of kind of a rugged Etsy page. Okay. But it's like $20 a freaking hat right now. So go get the 30% off, get yourself some custom logo hats, and you'll look as sharp as I look right now. Okay. For those of you listening later, obviously the link is in the description. Okay. All right. So last week we talked about, dude, it's common sense. We covered 29 common sense principles that will change your path in entrepreneurship, from answering the freaking phone to stop buying $7 lattes. We covered a lot last week, okay? And no matter what, I keep running into more common sense items that I wish I could teach. Last week, the Jump Off had an employee that set up a combo with the front step in a small drainage ditch, and then it rained 3 inches in like an hour. 1 hour later, and needless to say, the unit was a muddy, destroyed mess. So common sense item number 30 from last week. Please don't set your combos up in a drainage ditch. All right, tonight though, we're covering building an inventory that will make dollars and makes sense. So hit that subscribe button and let's get rolling. All right, so for your inventory, you start your little business and you, my friend, have a teeny tiny bit of success. I'm not talking about enough success for you to actually impress anyone yet, okay? I'm talking about the amount of success where you get to sit on the couch and look at your phone and say, holy shit, this thing's actually gonna work, right? This moment is very critical for every entrepreneur because you actually have a product that fits the market and people will pay you for said product, okay? You are now a business that you can begin scaling. You're scalable, all right? Then you go out and you get that Capital One 2% cashback card that I talked about last week, and you absolutely start spending like crazy and you start that thing on fire, okay? You feel invincible. You go get on HEC's website and you buy a 27-foot dual lane tiki plunge with slip and slide attachment. You're a beast. You can handle it. Cha-ching, $8,400. Then you go to Twister Display and you get the best dunk tank they have. Hell yes, corporate events coming up in my future. Cha-ching, $4,800. Should I get tables and chairs? Fuck it. Let's get 200 chairs and 20 tables. Cha-ching, $5,400. Oh, I better get a popcorn machine. Cha-ching, $1,200. Let's add some inflatable games. Oh my God, check this one out. It's a bow and arrow game with like floating balls. Oh my God, that's gonna crush it. Cha-ching, $1,800. Oh my God, dude, Jump Orange has buy 2 bounce houses, get 1 free. I'm gonna buy 4 bounce houses and get 2 free. Cha-ching, $6,800. Big and Bright Inflatables has that dual lane slip and slide you just can't live without. Cha-ching, $3,400. Dude, mobile movie nights. Let's get the projector and the screen and the speakers. Cha-ching, $2,600. Better get 2 white bounce houses. I mean, those things are going to be fire. They're super trendy right now. Plus, my old lady, she can make those balloon arches. We're going to crush it doing weddings. Oh my God, we're going to be rich. Cha-ching, $4,800. Wow, while I'm at it, I better get 3 tents from Aztec too. Cha-ching, $6,000. Oh my God, somebody on Facebook Marketplace is selling a jelly ball business. Let's go. I'm ready to go. $4,800. Cha-ching. Then you go look at your credit card bill. You're in debt now, $51,000. And then what's worse, you actually go look at your calendar. Your stuff's not renting. So you say to yourself, let me go jump on the Bounce House Business Mentors Facebook page and let people know that I'm kind of struggling. It's just not as busy as I thought it would be. And I really can't get any clients. I don't know what to do. So someone in there that's as wise says, post your website address so we can go check out your inventory. Bet I'm going to post this. I'm going to blow them away with the diversity that I offer. Then you go read the comments an hour later. Oh my God, why is everybody yelling at me in all caps lock now? My inventory is trash? Yeah, right, dude. I've got a little bit of everything to offer. Plus, I got 6 bounce houses. I bet they don't have that many. Then you go check their websites, and they don't have that many bounce houses. Oh, good Lord. What have you done? You, my friend, have built an inventory that has no backbone, no symmetry, makes no sense, and just plain isn't going to get rented, so will make no money. You have no identity. You don't have a true backbone to your inventory. Okay, so how do you build an inventory? Glad you finally freaking asked now that you spent $51,000. So to build an inventory that makes dollars and makes sense, step number 1, buy for your area. If you live in Southern California, or if you live in Glendale, Arizona, I'm going to tell you right now, that 27-foot slide isn't going anywhere, dude. It's just going to sit in your garage. All right. What you need to do is go shop the local company's websites to see what they list first. If you're in SoCal or you're in a suburb in Arizona, those houses are this big and the yard is this big. Your 27-foot isn't going anywhere. Okay. So go to your competitors' websites and see what they have on the front screen. What do they actually want their customers to rent? What does it look like is their bread and butter? What do they have the most of? Okay. If you live in a place with small yards, it's going to be small units. If you live in a place with large yards, it's going to be medium to large units. However, that 27-foot dual lane probably still isn't going to be going out that often. Okay. Every area is different. You need to do your research. Okay. Don't ask us what you should have in your inventory in Katy, Texas. We don't operate there. Go the extra mile, reach out to some local companies, make some connections, make a couple friends, and freaking ask. Okay. So here we go. Now I'm going to tell you what most of you should have. Step number 2, buy wet, dry combos and 18-foot water slides. Buy wet, dry combos and 18-foot water slides. Even though I said we don't know what you should get for your inventory, we almost certainly do know that you should get wet, dry combos. Okay, here's why. They can go out every single week that your business is open. And for whatever reason, people want their kids to have a slide. The slide is the gateway to their hearts and to their wallets, okay? Get wet, dry, and get a ton of them, okay? For water slides, 15-foot slides are generally speaking too small for any kids above like first grade, okay? An 18-foot slide, however, is big enough for almost any age and low-key, legit any age. I dropped one off today. The first person to ride it was the mom, not joking, okay? And an 18-foot water slide is also big enough to impress people, okay? You set it up, they're going to tell you how huge it is, all right? It can also be picked up by one person if needed. It's not a pleasant experience, but it can be done, okay? If you need to go have a second person help you with an 18-foot water slide, it can legitimately be like a 10-year-old, okay? Because they're just that good of a size. So the size is perfect for the customer and the size is perfect for you, okay? Side note here, if you're a Jump Orange fan, they have 19-foot slides, same difference, okay? Buy wet, dry combos, buy water slides. Step number 3, buy according to the 80-20 rule. If you, my friend, are an inflatable company, guess what you should buy? Inflatables. Weird, right? Okay, so back in the day when I worked at Journeys, we sold shoes and socks and shirts and belts and backpacks, okay? As I would travel around my district, my team would come running up to me telling me that the shirts we carry are trash, or that we should carry this new brand of clothing they've heard about or they wear or they saw on Instagram, okay? Or that they spent all day redoing the shirts their size ordered or, God forbid, color ordered, that red, blue, RG bib or whatever it is. Like, okay. We also at Journeys had a report that pulled up the stats for the stores for the year-to-date sales by department. It was option 98.9, if my memory serves me correct, okay? What a lot of people didn't know about that worked there on that screen was there was a little percent that told you how much of the dollars that category created for you, okay? So I'd make my people tell me the percent of shirts, okay? Go pull up 98.9, tell me the percent of shirts. It's line number 6, go across, okay? Maybe make it 0.9%. I make, awesome, dude. So remind me again, what volume is this store? I beg, we're on our way. We're almost to 1.6 million, boss. I say, that's right. Hey, do me a favor, grab a calculator. What's 1.6 million times 0.009? They'd say, it's 14,400. And I'd reply, well, do you want to keep talking about the $14,000, the sales that these stupid shirts get? Or do you want to talk about the $1.4 million that the 90% of the shoes do? Because shoes make up 90% of the sales, okay? Moral of that story, we're an inflatable company. Go to your dashboard in Inflatable Office and do that same math. What percent of the money is your popcorn machine and your snow cone machine doing this year? I don't have an example answer for you because I don't have either of those two things, okay? It's the 80-20 rule. 90% of your money comes from one department, inflatables. It's actually 92.9% of my sales come from inflatables. Now, should Journeys not carry shirts? Debatable. If I owned a Journeys, I don't think I would because it's a pain in the ass. Should a bounce house company not carry concessions? I own a bounce house company and I don't carry concessions. It's more hassle than I think the money is worth, okay? I can move faster, okay? Either way, focus on what does make you the money, okay? Step number 4, buy diversity and buy balanced inside the 80-20, okay? Yes, get a ton of palm tree stuff, okay? Yes, get neutral, red, blue, yellow stuff too. Also get some pink. Get a unicorn, get a dinosaur, get a 22-foot water slide, get an 18-foot dual lane, get lots of 18-foot single lanes, get a 15-foot single lane for the little kids and for the daycares or summer camps, okay? Get some dual lane combos in tropical, get one in sports theme, you get it, right? Get at least one obstacle course. Don't make my mistake, get it wet, dry. Set your inventory up so it appeals to the masses. And just because I know somebody's going to ask, generally speaking, our pink combos do just as good as our red, blue, and yellow ones. I have 2 ultimate jumper combos that are literally the exact same, but one is red, blue, and yellow, and the other is pink and purple. The pink and purple one has out-earned the red, blue, and yellow one the last 2 years. This year, It is behind by 3 rentals so far, though, but it usually beats the other one. Okay. Another thing to consider here is, do you want to be that super flashy company? Okay. The llama combo from Leisure, the unicorn combo from HEC, the sparkly robot slide from EZ, super cool Disney stuff from Magic Jump, Frozen, and Spider-Man, all that good stuff. Or do you want to be more generic, palm trees, waves, etc.? Me personally, I tend to be the generic guy, way less complicated. Okay. I can move faster and more efficiently. Also, set it up to the area. Okay. So if you're in Canada, probably buy less water slides and buy more combos. I'm guessing not from Canada. If you're in Miami, probably buy more water slides and tons of them. Okay. For me in New Orleans, I'm right in the middle of that, but heavier on the water slides than the combos because my max demand of the year coincides with water slide season. So I go heavy water slide, and then the combos kind of take me through spring and fall and winter. All right. But buy diverse, but buy balanced. Step number 5, buy multiples of your best units? Question mark. Okay, so now this is something that I've not actually done to a high degree. This year I was wanting to work on it, but I spent a lot of money to buy out a local competitor back in December, and a lot of money went into that. Now I did come up on 2 multiple, like a second one of 2 19-foot jump orange slides in that buyout, but they're not like the flashy ones that are mega popular. So I don't know that I need to have 2 of those. Kind of seeing it this year. Okay. Now, your best renter, yes, you should probably get another one. Okay. The fear of buying multiples of inflatables is that it looks weaker on your site. Your selection looks lower. Okay. And I personally feel that one. I almost would rather go no multiples to have a crazy robust selection than the opposite. That's just my personality. I'm not telling you that's the right thing to do. Okay. Now, is it good for you to have one of your most popular? So if you have one that is your most popular, you'll be able to require, sorry, you won't have to be flipping that unit as often, right? You can just go drop off the other one while the other one's sitting in a yard dirty, okay? The other thing to consider about buying multiples, and this is what always hangs me up, is I have an HEC unit that is a Blue Hurricane dual lane 18-footer that is very popular. But is it that popular because it's my only 18-foot double lane, which it is, okay? So if instead of buying another Blue Hurricane double lane, if I go buy the Tropical Hurricane double lane, which is kind of fancier coloring, a very good looking pop of colors instead of just all blue marble, okay? Will it be as popular, more popular, or less popular? I, in my opinion, likely do not need 2 Blue Hurricane double lanes because the Tropical Hurricane will go just as often, if not more. And if it's not available, they'll take the Blue Hurricane or vice versa, right? So for me, the duplicate buying is for slam dunk units. My 60-foot obstacle course is absolutely freaking outrageous. I bought another one, and that unit in the inventory registers as 1, even though there's 2, okay? It's probably going to do 20K this year between those 2, and it's a dry only unit. Like, it's only going to go out for another 2 weeks, and then it's done until September. Okay. There's some companies out there that are the complete opposite of me. And they have 400 units of 5 different styles. Okay. It's a decision you ultimately have to make. And it looks to me on paper like if you want to be the company that does $5 million a year in rentals, you should probably have 10 of each inflatable in your inventory. Okay. When you're new, however, I strongly suggest you don't buy multiples because you don't know what you need yet. You don't know what you need yet. So wait it out. 20 inflatables, maybe you'll know. 30 inflatables, you should know if you've set up a smart inventory. Just wait to buy multiples until you know for sure. Step number 6, finally, step number 6, buy something totally different, question mark, okay? This could be a Foam Daddy foam cannon. This could be Jelly Ball, a dunk tank. It could be a million different things, okay? Should you do it? Here's the bottom line on it from my opinion. If you're ready to practically start another business, then hell yes, you should absolutely do it, okay? If you go buy your foam daddy cannon and bury it in the inventory of your bounce houses, I think you'll have marginal success with foam because it's just buried in a bounce house business. All right. If instead you make a huge statement with a separate homepage, or better yet, make an entire separate company, you can do a DBA, then boom, you'll be able to make it go and give it much more legs like a sister company. All right. Do I think you should do it? Yes. Diversify your portfolio. However, wait till the time is right because you literally have to launch another business. Which should you do? Foam Daddy seems to me to be the next natural step. Start your bounce house business, get it rolling, then you add foam. They go hand in hand. They work super well together. It's the exact same clientele. It's awesome. Okay. And foam is on the come up to where it's not a super niche thing anymore that's hard to start. It's out there so you can jump into the market and actually get some things going. Jelly Ball is supposed to be another one that's good. I don't have any experience with it. I know David and Wes at Air It Up just got one not that long ago. So I don't think David's in here at this current moment. Maybe he is. But if not, then you can ask him later. He said he might be on later. So you can ask him about the Jelly Ball thing. I think he's done one party so far. He just got it not that long ago. Should you buy a dunk tank? The cost of a dunk tank is the same as the cost of a 22-foot dual lane that I know if I put in my inventory is going to do 15K. My dunk tank ain't doing 15K. If you think about it, I think you should buy the 22-foot dual lane that's going to make you 15K. That's just me, though. Okay. So there we go. There we go. That is how to build an inventory that makes dollars and makes sense. Step 1, buy for your area. Step 2, buy wet dry combos and 18-foot water slides. Step 3, buy according to the 80-20 rule, aka buy inflatables. Step number 4, buy diversity and buy balance. And step number 5, buy multiples of your same units, of your best units, question mark, not sure. And then potentially add some foam party action to your inventory. So there we go. That's how to build an inventory that makes dollars and makes sense. What you guys think? I'm going to get some, oh, I lost it. Hold on. I'm working on 2 screens here. Mark, are you on?
Hello?
There we go. Mark, what do you think? I sent it to you earlier. What do you think? Did I get it? Did I hit it on the head?
Yeah, for some reason you're lagging a little with your voice and your picture. I don't know if it's me. I reset my computer. It didn't change it. So I don't know if it's you.
I might a little line too.
It's you. Yeah, it's him. It's him.
Oh, dang.
Do you see him lagging?
Yeah, we see him
Yeah, I
lagging.
was hearing it in his voice too when he was talking.
I don't know. I got good internet.
Yeah.
Was it doing that on the JUMPSTART half hour?
I don't know. I was out picking up a dunk tank. So to touch off on your stuff, you did hit it. One thing that everybody needs to pay attention to. Your area is 100% different than anybody else's. Your rental area is could be completely the opposite from someone that's 100 miles away from you in the same state. So paying attention to your area and doing your homework on your area, like Nick at first, is really a big thing. Again, putting it out there to social media. Wow, I'm just starting my company and I've got $25,000 that I want to invest. Listen, you're going to be told all kinds of things to go buy, and you don't really want to do that. You do want to, I call it sneaking, looking at your competitors' websites and stuff, see what they got. If they have a crap ton of bounce houses and nothing else, then maybe bounce houses only rents in your areas. If they got
You do your homework.
or water
Homework.
slides and combos, then maybe the
What are you
water
doing?
slides are the hot
What are you
thing in
doing?
your areas. So you want to learn by really sneaking, looking at your competitors, and I mean span out 30 miles of your delivery area to just see what other people are buying and purchasing. something that I don't know if Nick was no, that's the wrong word. I don't want him to confuse any of you newbies. If there are newbies in here, I have no clue. For buying things when he was like rattling off, go buy 2 of these slides, go buy 2 of these combos, go buy 2 of this and 2 of that. I don't think he was exactly trying to say everybody that's starting out a company, you need to go buy all these. I think he was giving you examples. The way I have helped multiple people start their companies in all ways, from financial help to lawyer help to just plain advice. And I tell everybody to start slow with your buying, because I think Nick touched it off at the beginning when he was mentioning 27-foot slide, the tents and everything else. You're going to buy that stuff. It's going to be sitting in your garage. It's going to be sitting in your shop. It's not going to rent. I highly suggest you start slow. And when I say that for 2 reasons. One, you don't know if you're going to rent them, so you don't want to have a whole ton of inventory sitting in your shop. 2, you don't know if you really want to do this business until you see what it takes to run it. So you don't want to go spend $50,000, $60,000 on a credit card just because you can. And then all of a sudden you go, damn, I'm on this thing 7 days a week, or I have to work on these things 6 days a week. And it's not just a Saturday, Sunday job. So you want to make sure that's what you want to do before you go buy inventory. I 100% believe in that. The 80-20 rule, I 100% agree with what Nick said there. You want to buy more of what's going to rent than what's not going to rent. Something he didn't touch off on, which I will touch off on in a second, because I got trapped in it. The diverse, buying diverse is very good. You don't want to get stuck buying a bunch of themed inflatables, water slides, themed combos, because that's not the greatest renters, in my opinion. You want something more tropical, like you said, multicolor, the pink and purple. I got a pink and purple from Ultimate Jumpers. It goes out amazingly crazy. I got multicolor combos, multicolored bounce houses, multicolor slides. Anything like that goes to any single party. That no matter if they're a Batman theme, a Avengers theme, or a Princess theme, they will all vent. But if you go out and buy a bunch of Mickey Mouse slides and Spider-Man slides, you are stuck to them parties, pretty much. You know, buy multiples of your best unit. I agree and disagree to that comment, and I'm not agreeing and disagreeing to Nick. I'm agreeing and disagreeing in general, because it also goes back to your software company. What software company you got? Do you get charged by the amount of units that you have? You know, you don't want to have 3 of one unit and then 2 of them are sitting most of the time, or vice versa. So I kind of look at things a little bit differently when it comes to that, but I agree with the way Nick approached it to you guys, and I think, you know, it's pretty much the right way. The buying something different is where I got trapped. And I use this as a very loose term for anybody. Do not, by any means, go to a show, go to a website, go to a promotional sale, look at something and go, wow, I gotta have that, because it's gonna sit. You buy on a wow factor, it never works. I got stuck to the tune of over $25,000 of wow factors. I was so like, wow, these are just freaking awesome. How they sat. Wow things don't go out as much as common water slides, common combos, common bounce houses. Wow factors are like, well, for instance, one of mine was a Christmas theme slide with snow. When is that going to go out? It's going to go out in December. That's it. I didn't think of that. I bought a wrecking ball, sat in my shop probably a year before it went out for the first time. It probably goes out 2 times a year at this point right now. It's basically a dust collector. Something that goes consistently out is not a dust collector. When you look at your shop and you can say you're starting out and you look at your shop after a weekend and you go, I got 3 wet water slides sitting here. I got 1 wet combo sitting here. I got a bunch of dry other stuff in the back that don't go out. Look at what stays wet at your shop that you have to keep cleaning. That's what's renting for you. You buy more of those. You don't want to buy stuff that's not renting. That you just don't want to do it. Even if it's a cool piece. I mean, there's pieces I want to buy right now. One is from Easy Inflatables, and I want to buy it because it is just cool. But I know in the back of my heart, there's going to be $7,000 sent to him, and I'm not going to get my money back as quickly as I want. So good advice is don't buy something because it just says wow to you. You look at it and you're like, oh my God, honey, look at this thing. This is gorgeous. This is beautiful. And he's over there looking at it going, oh, holy shit, that's $8,000. We better buy it. No, don't do that. You're going to make a huge mistake. Even veterans know this. Don't you buy what rents for you. So my way of buying is starting off slow. I don't go balls to the walls with it. I didn't when I started mine. When I've helped the people that I've helped, I've told every single one of them not to go balls to the walls. Almost everyone worked except for one guy in Kissimmee. I'm not going to mention his name. He bought 3 used units from me. And then I told him, I said, listen, buy you a couple new units, start off slow. Very first IAP I took him to. Biggest mistake could have ever done was take him to that show. He maxed out 3 credit cards to the tune of $180,000. He is now having to rent so cheap in bulk that he's not making no money, and he's killing himself just to pay off his debts. Don't buy on the wow factor, guys. Don't go there thinking you're going to crush it and buy all these units and you're going to kill the company. Don't buy it that way. You're not going to kill the competition. Nobody will. I'm not, Nick's not, Justin won't, nobody will. You're going to work with it. That's all you're going to work with. So buy slowly, in my opinion, or smartly, in my opinion, smartly to what's going to rent and what you can handle. I would love to have a 27-foot slide. You think these little freaking arms are going to move it? No. So buy what you can handle. Think that you got to think of that too. But it's a very good topic for tonight, and I applaud you for it.
Thank you. What's your the one from EZ that you want to buy right now that's too flashy? Is it the
what?
What's the one from EZ that you want to buy?
He's got a badass wrecking ball, and I want to replace my old one.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, he's got a pretty cool slide too, but I got enough water slides. I think I got 25 water slides or something right now. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Al said buy marble over plain colors. Yeah, that's generally speaking, that's a pretty good call. More attractive. And less theme stuff. Yeah, I literally don't have a single theme unit. Like I have a pink and purple magic jump combo that has like some princesses on it. And then no, the bounce house, the pink and purple bounce house has princess on this one and prince on this one. That's the closest thing to theme that I even have. Like, will I ever get a crazy magic jump Avengers something? Yeah, probably. I think it will be cool, but for the most part, I like to stick it right in that sweet spot where it can go to every single party.
Hey Nick, I have that exact same unit that you're talking about, and it rents out every weekend. Every weekend. The Avengers from Magic Jump rents out
does it?
and school events. It's at every school event, bro. Like it's already rented out like 9 times for this month of next month.
Yeah, there's not, there's always the exception of the rule. It's kind of just the way I've always looked at it. Like, I'm not saying you can't hit the home run with the theme one, but I know if I get palm trees with a wave on it or whatever, that it's going to be, I can predict that Whereas a themed unit, is going to be, maybe it's great, maybe it's not, I don't know.
I think the movies have helped out immensely with that, though. With those sales, because the movies are still pumping out.
Yeah, and then the offshoots of the different, the whole, it's all got his own movie.
There's certain theme units that I definitely would buy, like the fire truck and the police one.
Yeah, the leisure ones.
Dude, those things are nonstop. Like I don't even have them yet, and they're already like rented out for months. They're coming in this week, and they're already rented out like each week for like next couple months.
That's sick. Yeah, those are super cool.
I bought a weird one that I like. I like to have some weird stuff to just like make me stand out too. But that's mainly why I have them to kind of stand out. I have another one that's like bass fishing, Arena of the Great Lakes. That one's actually doing good. I was hoping it would.
Yeah, there's who has the one? It might be easy. It's like no. I think it's Bounce Wave. It's got like deer on it. It's like camouflage. And somebody tagged me and they're like, "You need this. You need this in Louisiana right now." Like
Bounce Wave.
Yeah,
No, that's not. That is not a Louisiana one. The one's it's like got shotgun shells and deer. It's like Deer Hunter.
No, that's a different one. There's a newer one that somebody just tagged me and that has deer all over it.
I was reading through the comments.
L with the jump. He's talking shit about jump orange units, dude. All my freaking jump orange units rent well. They are, for some reason, they consistently. I'm not just saying that. It's like legit. All my jump orange units do better than all my other units. I don't know what it is.
Bro, I got a free jump orange bouncy house, and that thing's we just started. It's been rented more than 12 times already. It's insane, and we just started.
That pink and purple one. It's also what you show off.
You're like breaking up,
Ready.
Totally market.
You're choppy. I can't. You're a robot.
Can you hear me?
Little better.
It's not always the inflatable. It's always how you market, what you push.
Yes, it is true. I noticed that the one slide that was my best was also like first thing you could click on a few pages that were pretty key. They're like on the my home page and stuff like that. I noticed they were first on the page and stuff like that. They were I noticed that for a couple of mine.
Yeah, sorry, I still didn't hear what Freddie said, so we'll go with that.
Freddie said that it's not just about what the unit looks like, it's how you market that unit. And I was saying yes, it very much is, like, because there's certain units that I noticed that were doing really good, but like I also noticed they were like the first on the page and like a cheaper price in the first option, or like multiple, like there's more things linked to that product in certain areas, or I was pushing that product more on Facebook than others. And
yeah, Al said dinosaurs and unicorns will never die out. Yeah, I agree with that. And the designs keep getting better and better and better and better.
Dinosaurs are going to be in, I feel, for the next 2 years, because they're still making Jurassic Park movies and they're still doing the Jurassic Park kid TV shows. So I would almost bet my left nut that next 2 years you can still rent a dino. And then dinosaurs never really like came out of popularity either. Like they like, you know what I mean? They might have dipped down a little bit, but they're still just as good as like a sports bounce house almost.
Yeah. My sports stuff's been bananas this year. I don't know why.
You definitely want to have some princess stuff too. I missed the whole beginning of this, but you definitely want to have some princess stuff, like straight for girls, because you got to think about it. The number one demographic that we rent to are moms, and then like the number one number one thrown party by moms are princess parties. It's just statistics here. You know what I mean? Like, so if you can have a princess castle, it will go out. Excuse me.
I'm definitely into the princess stuff, dude. When I was, so it was 2020, I found online a guy was selling a package of like 3 used inflatables or something, 2 ultimate jumper castle combos, one that was like red, blue, yellow, one that was pink and purple. And I was so hesitant to buy the pink and purple. I was so hesitant to buy it. I ended up getting a smoking fucking deal on it because he's like, drops the price, whatever. I think I bought like a small water splash, like a little splash, HEC little splash 15 footer from him too, I think. But that pink and purple castle changed my whole outlook on everything girl themed. It was so hot, so fire, and then opened the door too, because it was the only one I had. So opened the door too of people that would say, "Hey, I need this one, girl party." Da, 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 da. Oh my god, it's rented, but let's get you into this one, right? And it was a game changer. I'm very, very, very pro.
Oh, dude, how many people here have rented a princess bounce house for last minute to a boys party or something like that because they didn't have anything? Like,
I've got it.
drop
Like,
your
I got
comments.
the pink and purple. He's 4. It's fucking fine. Just send it. I'm like, let's go.
Did my volume on my speaker go up anymore?
You're better now. That sounds good to me. You're normally really bad, but it actually sounds pretty good right now.
Alejandro asked, who can I get the 18-foot water slide from? Are you talking specifically or in general in the jump? I don't know, Alejandro, I don't remember if you were in Jumpstart or not. We were talking about Sun Fun in Jumpstart.
I was about to say Sunfun. I just opened mine. I'm gonna be doing my review. I got that 18-foot. That thing's lightweight. It's not bad. I think personally, I think some of the straps could have been a little bit better. But I don't know. I gotta watch your video again now because I think that like some of the stuff is different on my slide than it is on your slide. It's weird.
You got the same one?
No, but they're both Sunfun.
Right.
Like
right.
what are the straps look? What does it look like for your water for the hose?
The hose was the screw in.
You had a screw in hose?
Yep. It was
So
I'm trying to remember because I did that and I did the big and bright inflatables at the same time. Same freaking day.
all I'm saying is mine is just like tie straps, like shoelace strings. It's they tie the water slide thing up, and then it's the same thing across the top. There's no pouch to shove a hose or anything.
Yeah, I remember when I edited the video, like I step on the slide to get a look at it. And it was like I left it in the video. You couldn't tell what I was doing, but then I talk about it right after that. So it was the good slide. And then the tethers were good too. They were the really thick, heavy duty polypropylene, like that thick polypropylene.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the tethers or anything like that. It's one of those slides where you got to like take a hose and leave it attached to it. There's no other way.
That's all I do. That's all I do, anyways.
But it looks like they're solid inflatables. There's a nice amount of zippers on them, and I like that they put the Velcro in those extra spots, and they didn't like skimp out on Velcro.
Yeah, the Velcro.
And they got spots for drainage on the bottom of them.
But yeah, anyways, to answer whoever's question that was, I'm not sure, Alejandro.
Thank you.
The topic for today is like equipment, right? Like buying the right equipment.
Yeah.
Hello, Skate.
What?
Go ahead. Who is that?
I don't know what just happened. So the topic's like buying new equipment, like what's good equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, just getting the right inventory, building an inventory that makes sense.
Did you make the did you talk about like longevity in this business, like bounce houses that last forever?
No.
All right, I want to go on a little rant here. When you have a bounce house that lasts like over 5 years, cool. You got a bounce house that lasts over 5 years. It looks like shit after 5 years. I don't give a fuck if a bounce house lasts over 5 years because I want to sell it within 5 years because I don't want all my bounce houses to look old as hell. There's certain units that don't look too bad after 5 years, 6 years. You know what I mean? They'll last for a while. It's basically all until a certain look, or I like to rotate inventory. But some like if I could just get a cheaper unit and run that thing down to the ground in like 3 to 5 years, I am super happy. I don't like anybody that's keeping a bounce house over that long amount of time. Like, I think you're making your company look like crap. Unless you're just starting and you're buying older bounce houses. To be clear, I started with all used inventory and then rotated out. I think I only have like 3 or 4 used units out of like the 40 I own. So yeah, definitely there's some magic to be said here. Like, there's some people like, oh, this will last you 20 years. You don't want a bounce house that lasts you 20 years. You don't want an inflatable that lasts you 20. You want to last, you know what I mean? 5.
Yeah, I'm interesting on that. I've gotten some pushback on this. So I'm down to run my stuff into the ground, and here's why. So a bounce house in my inventory, generally speaking, call it $8 grand a year. Okay, people are like, oh no, I like to sell a tad earlier that I get more money for the unit. Like $400 or $500. In my opinion, I'd rather get 8,000 and sacrifice, right? So then when I go to sell it, I'm selling it on the cheap, but I got that extra 8,000, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, with the caveat of I want to make sure that the stuff that's in my inventory is stuff that I have pride setting up at a party, right? I kind of try to imagine, is the party at the country club and I'm cool setting up that unit, then it stays in the inventory. That's the way I go.
Yep. I'm the same way. As soon as it's like, oh, this is just like, you know what? This has just gotta go. Like, both of my, like 2 of my basic bounce houses, they just gotta go. They probably should have gone last year, but they just gotta go.
Yeah, I
Did
asked
you
my
wanna
guys if I should sell one of the units, and they were like, "No, bro, closure." No,
But there's this thin one. And I'm just waiting for it to get destroyed. I love that bounce house. That's my last minute flip, last minute thing. I can set it up myself. Really, I can throw it over my shoulder and carry it. Like, it's so lightweight, but it's durable. Old as hell, but it's a solid unit and it doesn't look like shit. So I keep it in the inventory. That's where those weird things. It's definitely old. It's definitely older than 5 years, but it's solid. It doesn't look like crap, and it's like, you know what I mean. I'm just waiting for it to go one day. But that's one of those. It's very weird. Very rarely do you have units like that. Sometimes, like, the older it is, it's just gonna get more dirty. It's just gonna hold dirt longer.
Real talk. Dave, what's up? You got your hand raised. What's up?
Yeah, it kind of goes along with what you guys were just talking about, and a little bit how Mark was saying, don't get caught in the flash. You say you find yourself with a dud unit and it's just not producing for you. When do you cut ties? Do you try to force the thing to rent? Do you sell it while it's still newish looking? Like, what do you do if you got dud inventory?
So I currently have 2. So one of them I got in the buyout. Okay, it's a jump orange tropical themed combo. It's badass. It's got the tunnel under the slide like I like. It thing is badass. It will not rent. We cannot figure it out. We cannot figure it out. Okay. So we bumped it up to so my inventory on my page is in price order. So most expensive first, cheapest last. So when you pull up the page, most expensive is the first thing you see. Okay. So in the price range of those combos, I moved that jump orange one to the top. So it's literally the second combo listed. The Pirate Fortress is the most. Then there's there's a whole bunch of $235 combos. It's only been a week and a half, maybe a week. Still no quotes on it. Still no traction. So it's actually not mine. It belongs to Isaiah, who works for me. It's his combo in my inventory. So him and I were kind of started the conversation today of trying to figure out what the fuck we want to do with it. Okay, the other one I have is an obstacle course that I bought used that's in like insanely pristine condition from Spacewalk. We were going over there anyway, so I just texted Spacewalk. I said, hey, what you got? Obstacle course, whatever. And they got this sports obstacle course. It's like a little goofy, but it's not bad. Nothing. Crickets.
I want to see pictures. What's goofy? I love goofy looking freaking inflatables.
Yeah, like when I say goofy, like not like super goofy, but it is a little bit it's just kind of wonky, dude. Let me pull it. I'll share my screen and pull it up. But anyway, so to answer your question, Dave, we're deciding on the tropical combo, tropical aloha, I believe it's called. And we're gonna figure out what the hell we want to do. It's between Isaiah and I on that, or it's really up to Isaiah on that. And then this obstacle course, I got it for so cheap. I'm just gonna keep it in my inventory because I have the space, so it's not taking up any crazy amounts of room. All right, let me show
Here,
you.
that's also the thing too. If a unit rents like at least once or twice a month, like you're doing, it's fine. Leave it, because at the end of the day, if it's not going out every weekend, now that unit that can only last like 3 years or something like that, but it's only going out once every other week, now it lasts 6 years. So time in inflatables is a weird thing too. It's mainly based off use. It's not just off like actual time that it was made. I want to make that caveat clear too, because I have some units that are like 5 years old, but they sat in a garage for 3.
Yeah, I have some Magic Jump units that are from 2008. I bought used. I do not know what they were doing before I got them, but they're like pristine. Yeah, so here it is. It's right here. It's like it's fine. Like right, it's like blue and orange. That's kind
I
of.
don't see it. I see to succeed in a
Oh, I shared the
different
wrong.
screen.
Okay, hold on. Still not very good at Zoom, so
You've been killing it lately.
you fly solo.
Oh yeah, I saw something
Coming.
drag to the screen for a
There we
second.
go.
Yep, there we go. Oh, that is a little goofy.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy, you know. But I got such a good deal. I think
don't like
$1,200. I think I got that thing. $1,200 of blowers.
so. Yo, this is a great one. Let's start talking about. Have you talked about obstacle courses yet?
A little bit, just kind of mentioned them, not gone in depth though.
I would love to like talk about obstacle courses because I'm looking at getting a HEC one. Everybody rants and raves about HEC's obstacle courses. So I think I'm gonna go for like 120 footer or whatever with the water slide and stuff on the end.
Yeah, I don't have any of the HEC obstacle courses just yet because I don't think they have any wet dries, at least not at the New Orleans warehouse.
They do. I don't know. I don't even want to say it because if people fucking buy it before I do next week, I'm gonna be pissed. But they do.
But yeah, I was talking to Kevin yesterday, and he's got some new wet dry stuff coming, hopefully next year. That's legit. So I'm definitely buying some next year.
Yeah, I'm just like tapped out on obstacle courses right now, and I got a lot of schools and a lot of different people need more obstacles. I need some event pieces too, which like I don't think anybody that's just starting out should buy. But once you're like 4 or 5 years in and you start doing the bigger schools and bigger festivals, having a joust, having a bungee run, stuff like that's advantageous.
Yeah, I might start getting some of that stuff soon, but I just can't decide.
Once you're doing those school festivals and stuff like that for like 3-4K, you start slapping those on, make it start 5 or 6K, and start bigger events. Colleges love them.
Mm-hmm.
Over under how many blunts justed in for the day Vegas? What was he saying?
You making the magic happen?
Did that answer your question, Dave? I feel like that was like kind of a half-assed answer or like a guess at it, but
Yeah, it did. That's kind of where I was at with it. I'm sure it's a kind of a case by case situation depending on how far you're into the unit for money and such.
yeah, like I don't have like I've never bought a new unit that didn't do well. Like all of my I have another used unit that's like a pirate unit, but it's like the pirates are real cute. Like it ain't great. It's good enough, but it ain't great. But I mean it's still like musters $4,000 a year, so it's kind of like, I like to, and so I have 2 pirate combos. So I have a stick ass easy pirate fortress that's just dope, so dope, and then I have that goofy spacewalk one. So it's kind of like I like to have the twos where it's almost like they're having the pirate party. They're like, the cute one is cheaper, but God, we'll just get the super cool one.
So I don't buy a lot of tent and table shit because they're local in Buffalo, but I have no problem with tent and table, and I like a lot of their units. You should pull up tent and table. Look at their pirate combo. I think I want to get that one.
Yeah.
Nobody else local has that for me at all right now, so I think that one's a fire unit, honestly.
All right, let me share.
Dude,
Yeah,
have you seen Jump Orange 7-unit obstacle course?
No, that sounds wild.
Dude, it's like $4 grand each unit. There's 7 units up to like 250 feet long.
Jesus.
Oh,
Wrong screen, Nick.
yeah, wrong screen. You're showing me your tax information.
God, dude.
That's just.
I even swear I picked this. I'm on 2 screens and I'm like, oh, it's got me all tripped up. Okay, now you guys can
There you
see what I'm doing.
Yeah, you gotta switch it to Dale now.
Okay, got it.
I'm mad now too because I hit up freaking Bob at Twister Display. And he didn't let me know about my new dunk tank or anything like that. I told him to send me a quote. I got people hitting me up for those dunk tanks like crazy now too. I think my dunk tank is going out every single day next week to a different job. I'm flipping that dunk tank.
Yeah, dude, it's the school best of the season, man.
It's not even just all schools, dude. I got like Frito-Lay hitting me up and freaking like all kinds of weird freaking companies and stuff. I'm bringing the one dunk tank to a nursing home on Wednesday.
That is so crazy.
Is that pirate one a slide?
Nursing home dunk tank's got to be good content somewhere.
Huh?
Nursing home dunk tank's got to have some good content for social media
You
somewhere.
don't even know, dude. I'm currently in a weed lounge right now, and like there's this company that's it's called Dirty Lemonade, and they're basically selling like weed lemonade. It's a brand over here, and I'm doing a custom dunk tank for them, and we're gonna fill it full of lemonade and stuff. Like it's gonna be fun. Like dunk tanks are fun.
Is that part one a slide or a combo?
No, it's a combo. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And they're actually doing dunk tanks for the retirement homes, old people places is actually really cool because I've done a couple. I've only done a couple, but you watch their faces, these little old people in wheelchairs that can't get out of the wheelchair, and they throw the ball from 2 feet away from the target. And in the tank is their little nurse that takes
There it
care
is.
of them, or their hand, whatever the people are called that takes care of them, the caretakers. You know, to watch. I mean, you know these ladies and men. They're 75, 80 years old, and they're pretty much going on the backside, and watching them throw a little ball in a dunk tank. And the one that I was at, it was actually really cool because they can't throw the ball, so they're not going to hit the thing. Some can throw the balls. The majority can't. They had it set where there was somebody behind the screen. When the ball hit it, they pulled the handle to drop the people into the tank. It just made their day, And so yeah, doing the old homes. I'm actually doing one. I just booked one right here today. Wherever, if you can see it, that person right there. She runs a retirement facility on one of our retirement facilities by the hospital. She just booked the dunk tank today to do it for the old people, so they have something fun to do. So yeah, it's kind of cool to do that.
So
Darren, you got a question?
Yeah, so I was going to say, and maybe it's just you, I'll just ask, but if you were to go through all your inventory, do you have one unit that's probably heads and tails above the others that rent out more?
Yeah, our 60-foot obstacle course was, crushed everything last year. The second place one is the 22-foot dual lane water slide, but there's a pretty good margin between the two.
So, and that's probably for your demographics because you guys have a longer season and it's a little bit more humid and heat, so you probably get a lot more water slides than combos.
Yeah, and that was last year. That was the biggest slide that we ever had, and it did great. Absolutely crushed it. So then for this season, I went ahead. Last fall, I bought a 27-foot dual lane with slip and slide attachment. The one that I told everybody not to buy in the opening monologue there. I went ahead and bought that last year, but it was I was in the right position to do it. And it is done pretty well so far. Let me pull my dashboard up on Inflatable Office. I'll tell you.
So while you're doing that, just quick follow-up, if there was one vendor that you were gonna pick to buy your equipment from, who would you recommend as far as vendors and manufacturers?
They're all I'm not going to try and cop out on this.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to answer honestly. The one that's closest to you, that's also good, right? So in Utah, you know, anything that's close to you is probably going to be the California companies. So I'm a big fan of EZ. I have my two ultimate jumpers units are pretty freaking old. I think they're 2019 units. The stuff that Albert's putting out now is looks amazing. I don't have any history or personal hands-on experience with it.
I got a bounce house from him. It's solid, looks great.
Yeah.
Chime in.
Yeah, what's up, Freddie?
I just wanted to hear the question again, and then I think I can answer it if I
He
think what I
said, would
heard.
you buy from one manufacturer that's solid with everything? Like, personally, no. I don't think. I think a variety is great for multiple reasons. I try to buy like similar units. I wouldn't buy.
If you're starting out, I don't see why shopping around. The delivery is gonna freaking kill you.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying is like, if I was to answer this question, I would say I get my combos, and I get most of my combos from Leisure because I think they make the best combos, and I think that HEC, from what I've been seeing, makes some of the best obstacle courses, but so does Tent and Table. And then so there's options that I would go for quality for certain things, but I don't as far as the Jump Orange obstacle course, I've never tried it and stuff like that. Obstacle courses are a little bit tougher. I don't know if I would go with a thinner obstacle course. You know what I mean? So I never ran a Jump Orange one, but there's certain things that I wouldn't get from certain people that not even just because of something being thin. Sometimes I don't want them to be heavy. I don't want my water slide. I like my water slides when they're a little bit more thinner because they're freaking lighter then. I don't want them to be super, super thick and last freaking 20 years or something like that. You know what I mean?
Most of my stuff is from HEC because I really, really like their stuff. I think Kevin designs an amazing product. And then they also have a New Orleans warehouse. So we can just drive there and pay cash. You know what I mean? From Utah, I would go Easy, Jump Orange, maybe try out Albert. I'm trying to think of them all off the top of my head. And then if you can, you're not super far from Texas. So if you can try out, something from Big and Bright, they're brand new.
What
and
happens in the
small
Guardians
compared
too?
to everybody that we're mentioning.
What happens in it?
But
I don't remember.
yeah,
Isn't that the one where
no, I don't mess with one company.
Nick, I really think everybody should mute their mics if they're not talking, because we're hearing people talking to their family, babies talking, and we can't focus on who's talking to us. So I think everybody should mute the mic if they're not talking.
Thank you, Mark.
Nick, you said Albert, and I don't know what Albert is, or what company he's with.
Ultimate Jumpers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's got some good looking. His marble is real, just striking. It's really good.
He does waffles too.
He does, so you can get a slide for $25.
Actually, right now, Darren, for $90, Darren, he's got a combo and water slide. You can win for $90. There's 20 spots left in the waffle right now.
I saw those, but I'm not familiar enough with the people that are players in the industry I didn't know him, so I was interested in joining it, but I didn't know him well enough. So I'm glad you guys mentioned.
Yeah, Albert. I would vouch for Albert.
Yeah,
and then, the other one that's been doing them too. I don't know if they're going to do any more, but they did a couple. Easy does them too. But then another person that does them is William Gann was doing them for the different things. You should look at them too. West Coast Inflatable or Midwest Inflatable Sales or something like that. They're right over at Indiana. Chicago border, over there. So it's not too far from you either. It'd probably be a good place. But I don't know how far that is from you either. It's
Awesome.
too close.
Thank
You're
you, guys.
you're in like a weird spot. They might need a hub over there. But as far as slides too, because I know you're in Utah and you were talking about like colder weather too. With my water slides, like I have some with pools, but the majority of them I like to have with splash landings so that I can use them dry in the winter and put them inside. I know you have a lot of temples and a lot of different buildings with fun setters that you could slap those inside too with being in Utah.
Bro, there's no inflatables go inside a temple. A temple's not a church.
Huh?
Awesome.
Only
Some of those places, when I say inside a temple, I mean like normally they have like giant, like actual play centers or like halls on
Like in the
on
church.
campuses or something,
Yeah.
like or fun centers. Like they're the same thing. Like like a lot of the Jewish mosques and stuff, or whatever Jewish temples and the different mosques over here, they have like giant like halls and stuff like that. Even the fire halls, I could slap a giant slide in over here because they're huge. They're made for like. So you can have a bigger event inside.
That's cool.
Where it used to be, you know what I mean? The snow.
Cody had his hand up, and now I think Cody, are you still? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, what's up, Cody? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I posted a few pictures in the chat there. I was just trying to get your opinion on what they are. We just started out our company, and that's pretty much all we got going.
So let's see. The last picture you sent, is that a tent and table unit, that sports one?
Not entirely sure. I don't think it is.
Okay.
No, I think it looks like some a jingo jump or something.
I think it's that one, yeah.
Yeah, so
My
as far
wife's
as
checking right now.
yeah, so you got the castle with the wet dry with the removable, and then the same with the sports. Yeah, I mean,
You got a foam pit?
what is the
Yeah.
big biohazard one? What is that?
It's a foam pit.
Oh, it's the sports one is iHeart.
No, the biohazard.
No, the caustic looking one.
Yeah, the biohazard is a foam pit.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, your inventory is good.
On some real shit, I hate foam pits that look like the foam is toxic. It makes it look like this. I hate these foam pits. It's like the worst type of foam pits in my opinion.
They do pretty well out here in Texas.
Huh?
They do pretty well in Texas.
No, I sell foam machines for Foam Daddy and stuff. I'm saying like that style pit. I fucking hate that, like the art scheme, because it makes me feel like, oh, the foam is toxic. Like we're going in the toxic foam pit. Like we're going, you know what I mean? Like those, I would only pull that out for Halloween stuff. Like I feel like a nice big blue foam pit, or like I think I'm gonna get like a purple one to stand out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're good. Like this
purple or black
sports that sports unit. We have one that's made by Tent and Table. That's it's probably a little smaller. It's a pretty small unit. It's a dry only dual lane. And the thing is insane. I never ever in a million trillion billion years thought it would do what it's doing. And then we have the same exact unit, but like a castle looking. It's like one rental behind it. It's banana.
Saying we were going about 250 on those for the day.
Where are you at?
Texas, south of Dallas.
Yeah, then you're doing good.
Over there by Big and Bright.
Yeah, South Dallas is historically, I don't know the bounce house market there, but I know that the Christmas light installation market there.
It's freaking saturated as fuck.
Yeah, it sucks. Like for
it
Christmas
is
lights,
saturated.
They're like lucky to get $5 a foot, and I start at $7 a foot. And I'm talking, they do mansions at $5 a foot. So I don't know if the bounce house industry is as saturated, but if you're getting that much for those, yeah, I mean, and you're busy, you're doing good. My advice for you would be stack the cash, and then when it comes time to buy, go see Matthew, right? Because he's freaking right there. Go buy some stuff from him. And then start getting some units from all the companies we're talking about now. Not that I wanted to make sure I say this kind of like politically correct, but like the fringe companies, the Jungle Jumps, the Jingo Jumps, the Inflatables, Inflatables, blah, 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 blah. Nothing wrong with any of those, but I've always looked at it from the standpoint of, you know, the jump oranges, the HECs, the easies, like they all rise to the top 10 table. They all rise to the top for a freaking reason. And that's because we keep buying their shit because we like their stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I think next year we'll probably sell all these units and go with Big and Bright for a few more.
That's what I did.
Another thing is go to IAPA. Like physically see these things, physically see what, you know what I mean? You've had your units and you like it for like whatever amount of seasons and stuff like that. So you know what's up a little bit. And then like, you know what I mean? Then we put a lot of IAPA videos out, what to buy, what to look for at IAPA. And you know your price points and your pain points. Like you like, oh, well, this combo is 700 pounds. Like what the fuck? Like, like,
and then they're like, it'll last you 20 years though. And you're like,
it's
dude,
like this bounce house feels like a garbage bag. Like,
like I don't want a combo for 20 years, dude. Give me some.
And you were talking about the IAP. How do you actually, where are the tickets available?
You get like a month or two before all the manufacturers will start giving them out for free. You're in the groups. You'll be ready. Trust me. You'll know. And then there's IAPA's fun. IAPA, like that's definitely that's a good thing to talk about, Nick, for this session, probably, right? Like if we're talking about like good equipment, why not one of the biggest equipment shows that there is to offer?
Yeah, Mark's like Florida. Pro. Mark's been to IAPA more times than I think anybody that I know.
What was your experience like your first time? What would you say, Nick?
It was just overwhelming is the wrong word because I wasn't overwhelmed, but it was like so incredible. Like, so back when I was a corporate employee, we had a big sales meeting that we go to every year in March. And it was like the best thing I ever heard described about that was a guy that works there named Billy. And Billy said, when I moved into the home office, I told him I can't take a job where I don't get to go to every day of the sales meeting because that's the energy source I need to be plugged into. Okay, so then when I left that company, like I didn't have that anymore. I didn't want to go to that sales conference anymore. I don't give a shit about anything they do anymore, right? But then I go to IAPA and I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is the energy source I need to be plugged into. It's
so bad.
Everybody that's there has rental businesses that they're running. They have opinions about all the companies and shit they're buying and stuff they're doing, questions they want to ask you. It's just absolutely incredible to see, right? I mean, you can go test drive dollies. You can go, it's like words can't describe how incredible it is because it's just like a giant party for us.
I had a mental breakdown the first year I went. Like a month after, I swear to God, I did. I had a mental breakdown just of new ideas, collaborations, thoughts, ways to improve things, and just it got out of hand after the first year. Last year, it still was like out of control, but it was better tamed. And then like this year, it's like trying to get a booth, possibly all kinds of weird stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna get a booth. I might just throw a party though.
The first time I went was 22 years ago. And it was almost twice the size of what we see now.
Really?
IAPA was almost twice the size. The parking lot where you see the inflatables out there, it was 2.5 times bigger of nothing but inflatables. We're talking inflatable tents that were 150 feet by 75 feet, inflatable tents out in the parking lot. It's just everything is condensed so much over the years. My first experience going to IAPA, it wasn't overwhelmed. It was called, holy shit, where do I go look? What do I look at first? Where do I look at second? You go get free food. Wait a minute, I'm done eating. Let's go take a crap. Wait, we got to go over here. No, let's go on a ride. No, let's do this. And before you know it, 8 hours is gone. Your feet's hurting like hell, and you got to get up the next day to do it again. It's, you know, IAPA is very overwhelming to anybody the first day, even if you go to it now. Even though it's smaller, in my opinion, because I've been to so many of them, Orlando IAPA is the best IAPA out there. The Vegas IAPA, the California IAPA, yeah, it wasn't too impressed. The one in Atlanta, it was scary as hell because of the people, let's just say in the streets, in the area where the IAPA was. It was very small and condensed. It was not that big of a deal to me. Actually, I stayed there only about 6 hours and we left and went back to South Carolina. If you're going to IAPA, go to Orlando. You are going to be wowed when you walk in there. You're going to be amazed, but I would always suggest that everybody have an agenda. Do your agenda first and then do the other stuff, because if you go do the other stuff first, you're not going to make to your agenda because you're not going to have time. So that was my first time going there. The first time I went there, I believe it was, no, The Rock was not there the first time. The very first time I went to IAPA, there were 3 movie stars that was there promoting stuff. Can't think who it. My wife would know. If she was here, she could tell me. And usually there's a big shot there that you get to see. These past couple of years, there hasn't been, but there's a lot of personality people you can meet there. You learn so much information from different companies. You could learn all the way down to extension cords and the making of extension cords and what it takes for what you need and what size wire and explanations. And hell, one year at IAPA, we had Orlando Power come, and they actually, I can't say I wasn't involved in it. They had Orlando Power show up there. I think it was Pike. I think it was Pike maybe that came with them. They set up an electrical meter because people wanted to test the different blowers and the amps and the wattages and what it takes. And it was literally determined that the handheld hair dryers that most women use draws more power than a bounce house blower.
No way.
Yep. Draws more power than a bounce house because it's got the heater.
Yeah, the heating
Heater
element.
in it.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah, we don't leave the hairdryer on for 8 hours.
somebody wanted, some manufacturer wanted to prove this point. And so you learn a whole bunch of stuff at the show. So your first experiences will be, you'll be overwhelmed. I'm going to use the word, I think you'll be overwhelmed because you're not going to know what to expect when you get there.
I'm super excited for this year.
And then the parties every night. There's like a different person, like manufacturer or different like vendor throwing parties.
Yeah, that used to not be like that. It used to be maybe one person. There was a thing called IAPalooza they used to do. It's called IAPalooza, and they would put it on in different places. I think it was actually at HEC one year, and then they started branching out to certain people would do a big IAPA party. But now it's like everybody in the world, Monday night 2 parties, Tuesday night 2 parties. Everybody's got the big parties out there. So it's kind of, the demographics change with it. It's kind of cool, but if you like going to all them things.
It's nice to actually mingle and hang out with everybody at night. And especially when it's like, we're an industry full of party people. So it's fun to go out and party with everybody because it's like everybody can party. Like everybody can party hard. Everybody can pretty much handle themselves except for a couple of people. It's funny when that happens. It's just, I don't know. It's always been a very good time, in my opinion.
I love the inflatable office party, dude, at Topgolf. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was a great time. Tim is such a good dude too.
Oh,
like his software is like sick too. I've been having a lot more conversations about like just software in general and stuff like that. I feel like to be clear, and I'm gonna make this statement, and it's just because I've been hanging out with my other business partner for a different industry. He's an infrastructure architect, so but like this industry is so far behind, especially in the website world, stuff like that. Like it's so far behind. But to be clear, all of the companies that are currently present have the capabilities and API plugins for you to be able to do whatever you want to, if you have somebody that actually knows what they're doing. But like there's just so much stuff that's just being left on the table for bigger companies, or it's just, yeah, I'm just going on a rant right now, but we're this industry's so far behind.
Yeah, it's interesting to me how true that is and how it continues to remain to be true. When we bought our first 2 bounce houses, I remember, trying to, I'm just Googling things, trying to figure things out. And there's kind of like, wasn't a lot of things out there, and then that theme sticks through with the rest of the industry. It's just very interesting to me. I have my theories on it that are not fully formed, so I don't want to go into them now, but I just think it's true and interesting. But I am glad that, I could launch a show like this and it works and people show up and it's super badass. So tonight
it's really,
highest point we had 44 people on. So
it's interesting to be able to have a conversation about bounce houses and tents and like dunk tanks and foam machines and like have a whole bunch of people are like, go on. Like, tell me more.
So a long time ago, like back when I was an employee and I had my little online blog I was trying to grow, it was like my dream to have, like a podcast, potentially like a live show people would like show up to and listen to and everything. And then the other day somebody was asking me questions and I was like just like explaining what I do, like like, what the fuck do you do at your office all day? Like, you just own a bounce house company? I'm like, oh no, like I got other stuff going on, and like I'm explaining it. And like as you talk about it, it's like, oh, this is fucking weird. Like I made all my dreams come true, but like, in the bounce house industry, like it's totally bizarre. It's totally bizarre. But great.
I like it though. It's fun. Did we talk about tents at all for inventory? Good inventory?
I brought them up real quick, but that was it.
So like frame tents. I personally love frame tents. Like West Coast frame tents, I think are super easy to get into. And they're very
What's
versatile.
the difference between a frame tent and or West Coast frame tent than like your standard like pole tent?
Okay, so there's basically 3 styles of tents that we use in the US. There's other styles. There's 3 of the basic forms of tents that everybody uses. Once you get above 20 wide, things get more complicated. So that's the first thing I'm going to say in case you don't want to go and listen to the speech is, like, unless you want to become a tent company and be only tents and do a large amount of tents, don't get anything bigger than a 20 wide. It gets crazy with your amount of time. Now that being said, there's 3 different styles of tents. There's pole tents, frame tents, and then West Coast, and then high peak frame tents or marquee tents.
Marquee ones, right?
Now they're all like peaked up, but it's hard to explain. Like the ones that like have like the flags waving that go super high and tall out of nowhere, those are high peaks. But not to be confused, those are the ones where they're frame high peaks. So the difference between a frame tent and a pole tent, like a bunch of poles make a frame tent. It's like confusing. I hate when people freaking start going, oh, it's also a pole tent. No. So a pole tent is held up by tension. You have center poles. And all of those center poles are like basically you have a bunch of side poles that's stretched out. The tent is held up by tension, and like all the corners, it's just held out with tension. Whereas in a frame tent, you're basically building a metal frame, and then the tent top is hung over it. And West Coast frames are a certain style of frames where it's just regular, you know what I mean, just regular triangle type frame, and then so don't take down a 20 by frame by yourself. Yeah, don't take a 20 by 40 down by yourself unless you have jacks that like you are staked in or something like that. You could possibly do it if you have a remote or you're going back and forth lowering it down. Like it's possible, but you don't want to do any of that. It's not necessarily safe. Any wind can get messed up. But yeah, frame tents, they're very more versatile because they can go on concrete and grass. Whereas in pole tents can only go on grass, and they go up for cheaper money, so it's like whatever. if you're in a city area or rural area, or you're in a place where, like, I don't know, Nick, like your backyards, because you're in a very would you say like you have huge backyards by you, or is like people have like some people have medium backyards and stuff like that? Like
Most our backyards around here. So like I'm in a weird spot where like I'm not in an urban area where it's like city, right? Where you think like downtown Atlanta. But I'm not in a rural area where you think like farms either. It's just like suburbia. So most houses are probably like my house is on a third of an acre, and that's a little bigger than the norm, but around that size.
so like I'm in like city-ish area, but like also 15 minutes out of the city becomes farm country. So it's like Buffalo's wild, New York's kind of wild. So like I can do whatever. It's wild. But when it comes to tents, I really want to be versatile because I go in the city. It's like I'm always dealing with concrete or something. Like, you know what I mean? Different. It just, you know what I mean? And you can't even have one leg on there, and you can set up like on concrete. You can only have like you have to have more space because you have to have like 3 feet on each side for pole tent. So you have to have added space. It works well in the country, but it doesn't really work well for what we're trying to do. A lot of people have bounce houses and stuff. Unless you're trying to start a separate tech company. I like to do backyard weddings, and like I like to have tables and chairs because I like to do like I do a lot of different gigs where like I'm like I just did a groundbreaking ceremony for like these buildings or something like that downtown, and then another like tent that was literally right around the corner for the same day for today, and it was for just a welcoming ceremony for a different complex because they took over the complex and was just talking to everybody, and it happened to be like I got it all on one shot. It was perfect, like perfect timing and stuff like that. But those frame tents are more versatile. It's all, and 20 wides. Don't 2020, 2030, 2040. Don't do a 2060. Don't go crazy. And then as far as 10 by 10s, I like to use those same poles. All you got to do is buy tops, and you can use those same poles to make smaller size tents that you can leave up for multiple days at a time. The pop-ups, like you can't really leave those in a like during a wind or anything like that. Like I can do a whole festival and just leave it there for a week at a time with the 10 by 10s I have and not worry about it.
We had a storm rip through, and I called them because they were like 45 minutes east of me, and the storm was coming through this way. So I called him. I said, bro, I need you to make sure you put down the bounce house and then get the pop-up tents somewhere safe. Like the wind just came through. Like we weren't supposed to have wind or really much rain, and then this crazy storm comes out of nowhere. That's what happens in the South. Like the radar just goes from nothing to red and just crushes you sometimes. That's what happens. It was like 45-mile-an-hour winds. So it was like 8:30 on Saturday morning. So there wasn't much going on, but all the drops the guys have done, and then the clients from Friday, we had to call. And so I told them, I said, bro, it's coming through. So then we go to pick up, and they had paid for the whole entire weekend 2 pop-up tents, a bounce house, and I think that was it. Maybe some chairs, but I think that was it. Trevor gets there on Monday to pick it up, and the pop-up tents looked like they went through the blender. And I was like, bro, I called you. Like, this is ridiculous. And so I charged the card, bought 2 new ones, charged the card for the amount, and sent him the invoice. Like, I just charged you for this. But the wind will rip those things to shreds.
Not mine though. That's what I like about them. It's an actual tent top, and then they're like all it is it's like you can have different amount of poles. So say somebody needs 20 10 by 10s. If you have 20 tops and all those poles and legs, like okay, now you don't have to do any like you can get those bigger jobs for less money because it's more versatile. That's a good thing that I want to talk about. Versatility within your freaking rental line and your rental products, that is very key. Like the more versatile something is, the better. Like I like that a lot of my frames for my frame games are versatile. They go in the same bags. Everything fits. It's like it's just some uniformity of, you know what I mean, of everything. Like, but I don't know, versatility. Blowers are very versatile. A 1.5 blower can go on anything that needs a 1.5. You can't. It's not like some bounce houses only take this shaped blower. You know what I mean? So the more versatile something is, the better in anything. So, my dolly, I got the big Herc. I love how versatile it is. It can it's wide enough that it holds freaking 8-foot tables, and I can stack like 10 of them at a time and carry them through a field because I do tents. And I love that it's like also has E-track in it, so like I can literally strap an E-track strap around something super quick. But it's also versatile enough that I can put bounce houses on it. It's also got a cradle in it. It's not completely fat or flat. I like that if it needs a battery change, that it's got quick change batteries, so I can just swap out the battery real fast. It's already charged if it dies, but it lasts for days. Like versatility.
Yeah, somebody had asked, it was up in the chat, I think it was Aaron, trying to decide between first obstacle course or electrical dolly. Mark said electrical dolly. I'm gonna agree. The reason I'm gonna agree with that is because the dolly can do so much. Like the obstacle course, yes, can make you money, whereas the dolly, like on the surface, doesn't make you money, but you become so much more efficient and so much more fresh. Like when you get to Monday, or maybe you do a lot of pickups on Monday, so then when you get to Tuesday, like you still have all the gas in the tank and you can sit down at the computer and work on important things. You can do all sorts of stuff. The electrical dolly will cause a bump in the growth of your company. Like as soon as you buy it, you'll get busier because you can be more aggressive because you can handle more stuff.
Nick, are you responding to Aaron?
Dude, my guys got an electric dolly this past week, and I swear I've never met any more prima donna bitches in my life. That's all they're using. They left all the other dollies to just rot somewhere, and that's all they use, the electric dolly, for anything.
Oh yeah, we have three. We have three, and it's like I keep getting them because I'm just like I want to build, and we were where the hell? Oh, we were doing a school setup of two-piece obstacle courses, right? So 4 total inflatables, and the guy that is in, but it was at a park. And the guy that like runs the whole grounds team of the park, his name's Jeremy. He's a funny ass guy. He used to live in my neighborhood. He coached my kids' soccer one season, and he comes out. I'm like, "What up, Jeremy?" He's like, "The fuck is this? The fuck is this? They got motors?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. I don't want to hear any complaint." He's like, "No, this is some bullshit. Like, this is supposed to be hard. Like, what are you doing with these kids?" I'm like, "Dude, they all don't ever want to quit because this shit's I buy all this stuff to make it so easy." But it's legit. And Rosal has a thing coming out that I have that I can't talk about, but just letting you know right now, it's lights out insanity. Lights out insanity. That's all I can say. It'll be out hopefully soon. But it's gonna take the electric dolly to a whole new level. And it's very Elon Musk. It's very Tesla. So I'm gonna leave it at that though.
We got lights on it. You got like some underlights and stuff. I've seen some of these out here.
No.
What's up with that though? Somebody put a bunch of underlighting on one of them. I saw that. I thought
like
that
rock
was
lights,
actually
like truck rock lights, like lowrider stuff.
It lit up a whole bunch of area. It was just like I think it was Good Time Fed. I don't know who. But like basically in the dolly world, you can't go wrong when you buy an electric dolly as long as you don't buy it from badass dollies. Like as simple as that. Like you buy it from anybody else but them, and then you'll be fine and have a solid dolly for electric dolly. Because we didn't even show any freaking love we even mentioned Jolly Dolly at all, I don't think. And Gary's awesome.
I have a Jolly Dolly. I got it in the buyout of that company. And it's an older one. I need to ask Gary if they have serial numbers, because the guy I bought the company out told me it was like a 20. He's like, is it 2020 or 2019? I'm like, I'm skeptical on that, bro. I'm skeptical on that. But you hit that throttle and that heavy ass slide is moving and you don't got to do no work. Cody, you had another question?
I do.
Yeah, what you got?
Y'all are talking about the dollies, so that had me thinking. What is a reasonable priced dolly?
$4 grand. $4 grand.
Oh my God, that was so funny. You just got photobombed, Cody, by your kid.
Oh yeah.
What?
Your kid came up behind you and he stuck his tongue
That guy?
out. It was so freaking hilarious. He just like peeked his head around the backside of yours and he just stuck his tongue. I'm like, that is just so hilarious.
But yeah, you're looking. Oh yeah, talk to little man. That's always more important.
Go ahead.
Yeah, looking. Yeah, around that $4 grand. It's probably north of 4 now. 42, something like that.
Agreed.
Have
If
you
you
ever
want to
built
get one, and this is, everybody's different, so I'm gonna tell you what I do. I don't like the winches and I don't like all the extra shit. We roll by hand, and then if we have the big stuff, our 22 foot, our 27 foot. Sometimes if I'm picking it up, the 18-foot dual lane, we use my rolling straps. Anytime it's flooded, water slide, rolling straps. But winches and all that goofiness, I'm so not into it.
Yep. I'm gonna get some rolling straps.
Yeah, there's people like, my guys don't use them unless the slide's flooded or it's like the 22 foot or 27 foot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll use them on Rampage, which is a 21 foot, but it's a smaller thing. Me, if I'm going to pick up, if I'm on a pickup route, an 18-foot single lane, I'm not like, we'll just push, like we're good. But anytime it's flooded, hell yes. I get videos from people all the time that use that shit for combos and obstacle courses and everything, and I love it. Like they're there to help. So I'm super.
I don't own a winch.
No, I took mine off. I took mine off by 36 bolt rolls. I actually took it off. My guys caught the control box on a fence the other day and ripped it off. I never even hooked it up. I just took it
My
off.
biggest slide, if it's wet or you know what I mean, if I'm in any fuck situation, I basically can use one of your straps, some jump off straps instead.
Somebody pushes, somebody pulls. You can do anything.
If I'm there, I'm pretty much solid. I can just roll it. I've seen some wild stuff. One of the first times I thought was taught with inflatables, this kid was literally my boss's nephew. So he just did whatever the fuck he wanted. And we went to go pick up this wrecking ball from somebody's yard, and it was filled with water. And he basically was like, well, in this situation, we just pull out our knife and cut a hole in the bottom. So he just fucking cut it and put it right in the, not even in the seam or anything. Just right in the freaking vinyl, right in the bottom, just slid it so you get water out. And it was yo, he got bitched out for that. I was like, what the fuck? It was wild. It was wild.
I won't lie, I did do that one time. It was 2 years ago. The setup of the slide, I took a picture of the slide when we set it up. It was out in Walker, which is 45 minutes west. They paid the delivery fee, whatever. Big ass slide. We go to pick it up, and as we're going to pick it up, one of the same fucking storm. It's not supposed to really rain, and then I'm talking had to have been 3 inches of rain while we're driving to it, and we get there, and it's this slide I hated so bad. It's a Moonwalk USA unit. I'll never ever buy a Moonwalk unit because of that thing. I hated it so bad. And I was with
somebody just asked about Moonwalk.
What?
I swear to God, somebody just asked about Moonwalk. What? As you're telling this story.
Oh wow, in there. Yeah, I don't like them. but whatever. Everybody's
Yeah. Hey, Nick, man, that was me, man. What's up with the park, man? They close to me. I need one. There's one in Livonia over by Detroit.
what Moonwalk is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right there. No, yo, what you call it? Go to Chicago. Drive to Chicago.
Mhm.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago's got who's in Chicago now that's got their distribution.
Ashley's in there. Midwest Inflatable Sales.
Okay, bad. Midwest Inflatable Sales.
And they got a bunch. They got a bunch of the units and stuff like that. They got Bouncing Angel stuff at Bouncing Angel's price and a couple other.
I actually
companies.
have I have
And
two
then
Moonwalk
just so everybody
USAs.
knows, or sorry, Kevin, but Jump Orange. If you're a Jump Orange member, you get free shipping everywhere. Like I'm in New York, I take advantage of that shit. They're from California. What were we saying, Kevin? I'm sorry.
So as like that iPhone 13 Pro was saying, is my only thing, well, one of the things that I hate about it is the Velcro. It's that shitty white kind that just get filthy. Not to mention I can't just kind of flip it up, which I guess isn't a problem anyways. But they are one of my two best renters. Like I have a Ferris wheel and a unicorn, but might have just been the fact that they are a Ferris wheel and a unicorn and not necessarily because it's Moonwalk. But I like the design of the units. I think they look better than most of the designs I've seen for Ferris wheel and unicorns. I just hate the Velcro. And they don't deflate as well.
Yeah.
Not to mention when I'm rolling, like it's kind of loose a bit towards like the slide, like where like you have like the tunnel. I don't know if it's because of the way tunnels are, but I don't believe I have that issue with my other tunnel combo units. It's just very loose in that spot.
Like my easy one that has the tunnel is like barely loose. Like it is, but like it's not an issue. But yeah, that 19-foot slide that I had that was Moonwalk USA, it came down and curved as like a J slide. Rented really good, but had no upper vents. So like you go to deflate it, the vents were stupid. The baffling inside was stupid. It was just stupid. Like it took no. I don't want to go on like a rant here and like rip them the new one, but I just did not like that slide. And moral of the story, I cut a hole in the bottom of it because it was so full of water. And it was the yard sloped a little bit, so all the water went to this side, and there's no vents and there's nothing. And I was with I don't know if you guys have seen any of the old pictures of my crew. I was with Ethan, who's like he looks like he's chiseled out of stone. He looks like Adonis. And it was his first day, I think, or his first day of pickups. I don't remember. And so I'm like, we can manhandle this flooded slide. It doesn't matter. I got this guy with me. No, we struggled for like an hour and a half. And finally, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And I took out my pocket knife and I cut a hole in the slide to drain all that fucking water out on that side and then patched it later. That was the only time.
I've learned it doesn't matter how strong you are in this business. It's all about how you like leverage and knowing what you're doing with the inflatables. Because so that's like I bet you if he was as experienced as he is now, he would have been able to do it on that day with you. But like even like the inexperience on your first day, no matter how strong you are, like you're almost in the way sometimes. Like you're jumping on the bounce house.
Oh, without him there, it would not, like any other person being there with me, it would not have got picked up. Like we had to do like we couldn't get it on the dolly, like we couldn't get it moved over. And at the time, it was so long ago, I think the Rollsall that I had was like the prototype Rollsall. Like it was like this goofy, that was a whole last day. That was a whole.
Can I jump into something that Justin just said?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
And I think this could go to anybody. And I think everybody should actually listen to kind of what he said and what I'm going to say. It's not your muscles. I mean, your leg muscles is a big thing with this business, but it's how you look at the situation and how you handle it and how you do it, how you maneuver yourself. I mean,
technique.
You know, I've been doing this. This is my 21st season. I'm a 58-year-old guy. It's not strong. I was run over by a drunk driver 4 years ago. My back's jacked, but I will get out there and roll every single one of my rentals. You just got to know. You got to learn, not know, because I don't know none of you guys except for a few. You got to learn what and how your body can do it. Like I am best on my hands and knees rolling that and then stretch out elongated because it stretches my back where my back got screwed up from a drunk driver. Some people may be able to roll on their hands and knees and get better leverage. I get better leverage stretching out, in a full stretch. So every single one of us is different in this matter. And I'm glad Justin said something because it's actually true. Every one of us, our bodies work different than everybody else. Some of you guys, and I'm going to say his name, but I don't remember his last name. His name was Dan. He was from Ohio, and it was IAPA 2017. And I remember that because that was the year that a 285-pound piece of steel was dropped on my waist. I went to IAPA, and this guy shows up. He is buff, man. His arms are like this, like huge. And all he did was bitch about how rolling an 18-foot water slide sucks. And I looked at him and told him, I'm like, dude, at the time then, I was only 52, 53, something like that. I looked right at him. I said, I'll roll one of these slides back to back with you right now. Let's do it right now. At this show, let's do it. Because at the time, they were letting people drop slides at IAPA and rolling them with a rolling machine inside the building. And the point that I'm getting at here is he kept complaining about the way he was doing it, how he was struggling, how he couldn't get it rolled by himself. That's where every single one of us needs to realize, okay, I can't stand up and roll this because it's hurting my thighs or it's hurting my shoulders. Whatever works for you, that's how you need to make your system to roll all your inflatables. Don't give a shit about what other people do. So it's exactly what Justin said. It's how we all determine to do it ourselves and the way we do it. And it's so very true. I mean,
as long as you have as a business owner, I basically have outcomes that I want to achieve. And then I just look at it like, listen, these dudes are never going to do 100% because they don't love the company like I do. So it's like, if I can get 80 to 90% out of them, I'm happy. Unlike the gold or something like that. And how they do something, I'm basically trying to have my one manager run the whole thing, run the whole company. So it's what I mean? He's organizing the shop himself. You what I mean? I was like, do you need a guy helping you tomorrow? He's like, no, I can do it myself. You know what I mean? Let me just organize it one day and we'll move the next day. I'm like, dude, it's yours. You know what I mean? It's your baby. You gotta let off control sometimes. There's certain things that I want to do input on, stuff like that, move this there and there. And he knows enough about my mentality that he'll just do it. But also he knows that if he lets me do it too much, I'll just fucking walk all over him, and that's not what I'm paying him for. That's not what I want him to do. So I like that he knows where he's like, listen, I'm also the boss here too. And I'm like, yes, you are. You know what I mean? I'll go mess on the computer. That's where I should be.
And I want to back up to the Velcro. I don't know who it was that brought that up about the white Velcro and Moonwalk USA.
I did.
There's 4 different grades of Velcro. Your black Velcro, you have 3 different grades without a question of a doubt. I wish I could remember the names off the top of my head. But the white Velcro, I agree with you. That is probably one of the lower lines of Velcro that's sold. I know David Wang myself personally, who owns Moonwalk USA. Moonwalk USA does not have their own manufacturing, so they have another facility that makes their stuff. The white, it is disgustingly useless in my opinion, because if you are one of those kind of people that consistently pulls blankets up or slide steps to clean to dry, which I am one of the most anal for that, your white Velcro is going to die. The stitch and grip is going to it's gonna be shit and get is what it's gonna be. It's not gonna be a stitch and grit no more. The black Velcro is definitely the way you want to go. Pretty much now anybody that uses black Velcro in the United States. And when I say that, I'm being very, very careful because yes, a whole bunch bring it in from China, but they do regulate what they use. So they're
What
not
about yellow?
bringing in cheap.
Yeah, I was about to say there's my favorite. I like the different colored vinyl too now. You just
My
asked about
leisure
yellow.
was yellow. I just opened it finally today. The
So,
extreme obstacle.
yeah, so there's different types of Velcro now that they'll do like different color. It's almost like the same thing as the black. I would say it's the same quality as the black Velcro, right? Mark, you got a bunch of leisure units, and they they match the color. Even what you call it, Jump Orange is doing the same thing. They match they match the color Velcro to the vinyl behind it, so it doesn't even look like black Velcro anymore.
Where did you see this? I've never seen it.
Leisure has it, and freaking I'm pretty
I
sure
can't
Jump
remember
Orange
if my
has it.
jump aren't because I got a bunch of units from them. I thought they're all black.
Some companies, Leisure will always source it out and it has it to where it's like always on there. But like some companies, like even who else does it? Titan does it. But like sometimes Titan can't get enough of the material, so they will go back to black. But if they have the material, they'll always try and do an inflatable with the
manufactured by the
colors.
same company that manufactures HEC. That plant makes the same thing.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I've never seen. You said Leisure
Was
does it too?
Look up the retro combo on Leisure's right now, and look at the front. It has one of those panels.
Okay, yeah, okay.
The
Now that
banners.
Velcro, I've seen that where the banners go.
And it's even on the sides and stuff for certain things too.
But
My Leisure it's even orange for the little stitching on my skid steer.
No, I'm agreeing with you on that. I've seen that in the front, but I thought you were trying to say like the slide blanket was multicolored Velcro. And
No, not the slide blanket. Yeah. I'm talking about no.
Like where the banners would go, for instance. So when it stand out and looks stupid. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
It doesn't look like a big black box in front of your inflatable anymore.
You are correct. They do that, but that is equivalent Velcro to what the white Velcro is because it's It is not a Velcro that is considered structural Velcro, which the slide blanket and the step sheets would be on. Those are so much stronger. It's not. It's not a number one grade Velcro. I've actually talked to Gary from Bouncing Angels about it. He will not do it. He's going to keep it black. He's
Interesting.
Stay black on it. But
that's an interesting stance. I thought it was good.
Oh, it does look good to have that color on there.
No, I thought it was a higher quality Velcro. I didn't think it was like that. It didn't really seem like it would stand up to like the white and stuff like that. But you know what?
You
I don't
remember
ever put a lot of banners.
Banner. It's just for basically. I can't swear to it, but you would not think they would spend that extra money for super grade Velcro to put a banner on. But I do agree. Now I know what you're talking about, so I do agree. I have seen that now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does anyone else have those Leisure wet dry obstacles?
They have wet dry obstacles too. I have not. I want to try what you call it because it's seamless.
I thought about getting an HEC. Like I almost pulled the trigger on the water slide, but I couldn't get past the 3 feet lower seated heights. I don't know. It's just
the what?
If I'm gonna get a 22-foot units, if I'm gonna get a 22-foot slide, the seated height shouldn't be pretty much the same size as my 18-foot.
Well, so to be clear, I don't know if people know this or not. Like you can't go like in New York State, for example, you can't go over a certain seated height or it becomes an actual amusement ride, and you have to register it and actually inspect it every time it's set up, and have a state inspector, all kinds of stuff. Like if it goes over a certain height in New York State, the sitting platform.
Yeah,
so
I don't think
they
that's
might be
where I'm
making
at.
that because of those laws in multiple states. but I don't know where you are or anything like that. But that's definitely
Well,
a factor.
according to them, they said they do that because of the whole seamless thing, and they would have to add, I don't know, like 10 or 15 foot of something, whatever, and it would just make the unit heavier. And supposedly the way their seamless is makes them go down the slide faster anyways. I have no idea.
Yeah, I have a 22-foot dual end from them, and it is big and fast, and yeah.
Mark, the HEC one they have a really good sale going on with the New Orleans price list or something.
Yeah,
So I really thought about it.
yeah,
but
it's good.
decided
I
not to.
bought that new Rampage. My Rampage, like a huge blowout, and I was gonna get it fixed. I got it quoted to get fixed. It's an old Rampage, and I was like, let me see what a new one is.
So
Are y'all saying HTC?
HEC.
Yep.
The
HTC inflatables.
Charlie?
Nick, the Rampage, is that like you slide down, do you kind of slide up and come back down?
Yeah, it's like a half pipe.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it does well, and it's 21 feet, and then the slide deck is like this, and then literally straight down, like it's vertical to start. So it's a great slide, and then because it curves up at the end, it's only 30 feet long. Like you can put it in small yards because it's only 30 feet.
Those are popular out here.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I bought a brand new one, and then I sold the one with the big blowout. I sold it yesterday, and I solo rolled it in the freaking in the warehouse because Tyler's, is a long story, but Tyler's wife ended up coming to pick it up, and so I solo rolled it in the warehouse. It's great. I love it.
We're gonna talk about equipment in New Orleans. Like, what's up with the best foam equipment in the industry? Like Foam Daddy.
Yeah, in January, bro, that's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, I'm excited. So ARA. So we didn't even talk like American Rental Association. That's another great conference, but that's more of like the very analytical side of this industry. Like the very like to be clear, we are all in the logistics industry in transport. Like, you know what I mean? We are all in the like moving things from point A to point B and point B back to point A. Like that's what we do for a living. We're in material handling and logistics. Like, and then like the goods that we're moving and logistically, you know what I mean? We want to make sure they're not damaged. Material handling. And then we're also in like the crazy marketing and sales business because like there's only one way to actually pump and freaking move this equipment a lot. In fact, you know what I mean? So you have to be good at marketing as well. Now I said poops, I lost my train of thought, but
I think we all did. I don't think I can save you. I got nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, I like
It's a
totally
people
lost my
business
train of
too.
thought. But no, seriously though. Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought. So either way, American Rental Association. It's literally super analytical stuff. They do a lot of classes. IAPA, like Mark was telling you, they'll teach you a bunch of shit. A bunch of vendors are going to teach you a bunch of shit, and they're going to teach you how to buy their shit. There's no actual classes there. Me and Nick kind of want to fix that. But there used to be classes, but there is classes for some of the bigger theme parks, but there's no classes or anything for the small people or for rental companies there. Now, American Rental Association, they're really also really big on the education side, and they do one big show every year for the rental side, but they're also like everything rental, and like 70% of that fucking show is giant like tractors and freaking excavators and stuff. But 30% is like rentals and stuff like that. And that's also in New Orleans this year, along with the Foam Daddy conference. I don't think it's at the same time or anything like that, but they're both going down to New Orleans. So I'll be in New Orleans twice this year.
It's a dangerous place, bro. It's like a dirty, naughty little Vegas.
It's I'm excited. like especially for the foam stuff. But what's up with your foot? Like, tell me some foam stuff. I want to hear about your foam cannon. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, we got so I had it up at my own kid's party to kind of get the fucking feel of it, and that was the absolute right move because that was way more complicated than than I thought it was gonna be. And then we have next week on, I want to say Wednesday, we have a first school event with the foam cannon, so it's gonna be legit. And then we're building out foam party dedicated page for SEO now. Yeah, we're getting all sorts of serious with it. So I think this year I think it's going to be kind of like a setup year, and then next year we'll be able to go hard. Trying to go hard.
That's how I did my first year. It's a nice trial run. I went hard last year too. Now I'm going like really, really hard this year with all the foam stuff. As far as setup goes, mix your solution the day before. It won't be as crazy. I bet you did that the same day.
What's that?
Mix your solution like the day before.
At my party, bro. It was my own kid's birthday party, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's no big deal.
Yeah, don't.
Like,
that's what I already knew. I already could tell like some of the stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't pre-mix your solution. And then just dialing down. If you can take that pre-mix solution and put it in like 1 gallon jugs, it'll make your life so much more simpler going down the road and like actually be able to measure and monitor. It's, you know what I mean, and actually like codify things. Yeah, you're doing these parties.
I got the rest of the gel already mixed, so like it's already in. It's good. So I have. I only used 1 gallon of solution for my kids' party, so I have 4 gallons in a 5-gallon bucket, and then I got another 5-gallon bucket. And so, yeah.
And then like if you're doing schools,
I'm stoked for this school to do it because that's where it's gonna kind of be the wow factor, you know.
I like. So you shouldn't buy one right now because you're just like I know you personally. Like if you're going hard in the foam, buy an inline system. But like you personally, I know you got your hands like everywhere, so you're not gonna go as hard this year, like you said, until you know what I mean. Can actually run with it and you know what's going on. I did the same thing, so I know the way you think. Don't buy, like, once you do and you want to do that, an inline pump, it's so much more simple to like run a 6-hour party because now you don't have to mix solution in those barrels and fill them up full of water every, like, you know what I mean, half hour. Because now you just literally plug a hose into a box and then another hose into the machine, and it's just water from the source and then like a little siphon from the solution. That goes to the pump, like, and it just boom sucks the solution out of that 5-gallon bucket, and you just call it a day. You don't got to worry about anything. No more mixing for 6 hours. Well, it's 3 hours at a time, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah, what'd you buy?
Not familiar with them at all. But I guarantee.
Oh, it's party machines.
Yes.
It's a little dumper.
Are they
Yeah. So I have one too. It's in my opinion, it's right, the exact same thing, right? Foam, except for it's totally different. So for my party machines, long story short, my wife saw them some fucking how back in 2021, like February 2021. Talked me into buying it. It was like lower prices then than now, but like $2,000 for 104 packets in the machine or something. I already randomly had the stand to work on my mountain bike. So we kind of launched like that. And I had no idea what I was doing. So we just drop and go with that machine, just like it's a bounce house or a water slide. Yeah. So we mix. So I have now that I have the Foam Daddy cannon and learned to pre-mix my solution, I've gone forward and pre-mixed some solution for that machine. And then the guys can finish mixing it on site, stick it all up, ready to roll, and then tell the customer, like, okay, plug it in and then turn this for foam and turn this off for foam, after the hose is all hooked up. And we drop and go with it.
How long does a gallon of solution last?
The new ones, I feel like were a little less than they used to. It used to be 2 to 4 hours for 2 baggies of the powder. And it was pretty good foam. The events we've done this year, I feel like they're a little lighter on the foam, but we have another one next week. So we have 2 schools that wanted the foam cannon on the same day, and that's kind of a long dramatic story too. But so schools is getting that party machines one, and the other school is getting the cannon. And
the powder solution is better than the liquid.
No, the foam daddy gel is a trillion times better. It ships a little messier, like it kind of broke open. It was like ooey and gooey in the box a little bit.
No.
The foam is, or the packets of powder is nice and neat packets of powder, but I suggest pre-mixing it because it takes a while. Like there's clumps, and it takes a while.
If you let it sit a day before, like at least a day or two before your event, it is going to be it is in prime like form. That solution. You can mix it the day of if you have to, but it's not going to be as good as you left it sit overnight. And if you mix it with hot water, you're gonna freaking love your freaking life a lot more too. It's gonna take a lot less time.
Yeah, but that party machines, I think we drop and go on. We've never staffed a party ever. We drop and go. I think last year it did a little over $4,000 for the year, 4,500, 4,600, something like that. And it doesn't make as much as an 18-foot water slide, but God, it's easier. So it's not bad.
Foam is awesome.
Can you use any solution with the party machine?
Yeah, you can use Foam Daddy solution with everything. Foam Daddy solution is superior. They're even coming out with a Foam Daddy solution that's gonna smell really good too, probably. Like actually have a scent. So there's a right, like you can go no scent, or like, you know what I mean, but they're gonna have one that's still gonna be hyperallergenic, like not gonna mess with anybody's skin or eyes or anything like that. Safe for the environment, but they like that. I have it. I haven't ran it yet. I'm actually gonna try and test it out on Friday, and I don't know. I smelled the bag. It smells really good.
Does the glowing or color bubbles stain?
It does. It'll wash out. It doesn't stain. It doesn't stain like the grass or anything like that. Disappears. So like we just tell people to wear white so you can see it.
Thanks for the info.
Right, it's fun. There's color powder and stuff too.
Yeah, it's a good question though. The foam, yeah, like if you're ambitious, I suggest adding the foam for sure. Like you got to treat it like a different business, but I suggest adding the foam for sure.
Like I like rentals too. Like I rent my machines. I'll rent my large cannon, or I have a little small one too. Like the standard cannon. And both of those I rent them out, and I just sell the solution $100 for an hour. And they get what you call it, like a gallon and a half, 2 gallons.
100 an hour.
Yeah, $100. I rented the machine for $300, and I won't staff it. And, the solution just $100 an hour. So it's a little bit longer, but when you start doing 6-hour events, or you're doing a color run, or you know what I mean, you want to stick a gym teacher behind it all day at your school and save you freaking $1,000. Like, go ahead, I don't care. I drop this machine off and now you run it. And I don't gotta do crap, and then I make freaking $600. Grand, yeah, grand and stuff like that. It's like the ROI on that's just nice. When you sell something that's like you get 5 gallons for, and you're selling, and you're basically getting like $200. You know what I mean? Per bag of gel. Selling it that way.
Yeah, that's the whole part I got to figure out, is all the math and the intricacies. But it's kind of like I've got it all figured out on paper. We need to go do some events so I can like figure it out for real.
Yep. Foam is not a fad either. Foam is in. That's the cool thing about it. Like it's going to be in for a while. It's in multiple theme parks. It's to the point where it's become easily and readily available, just like bounce houses are. and magicians. And the more they are there, like the more they're pushing it. Like there's a phone conference now. Like it's not like what
Whenever you sell, say you're renting out the machine, but you're selling the chemical or the foam, the gel. Are you taxing the gel?
what I mean, you tax all sales.
Well,
And it all depends on what this. First of all, I'm not a CPA. You should talk to, you know what I mean? You should talk to your accountant. But for the most part, you're taxing, like I tax most of the stuff. Like, you know what I mean? The only thing I don't tax in New York State is delivery. For the most part. Unless they give me a form that they for a tax exempt form. Because they're like a 501c or a government entity or whatever.
Anybody else got questions? What you guys got tonight?
What about mechanical bulls?
I'd love one, but I think it's too much.
insurance is ridiculous on them.
I got screwed out of my mechanical bull. It's a whole long story. I'm not gonna talk about it. But either way, I've gotten like 10 or 15 phone calls from mechanical bulls. So like for this year that I could not fulfill. It would definitely work for this year if I would have had it. But it is what it is. It's not good, but good for certain areas, and it's also going to increase your insurance like crazy. So,
in 21 years, I've never had anybody call me for a mechanical bull in 21 years.
I've had, I shit you. I did 30K in sales this week. It's messed up. Like no, I've gotten like probably 4 or 5 calls this week, and like at least like 10 calls last week. And like maybe 5 calls a week before. Like for the past 3 weeks, I've gotten enough calls from mechanical bulls that I've gotten annoyed about it. Like definitely annoyed. Like oh
Yeah, if I was getting that, dude, that's where you buy one.
Like to be clear, like the taco place, not even that, the taco place I go to all the time, right down the street here, right there. Like boom, they had a mechanical bull for Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
Where my tents were and stuff like that. Like, oh,
Yeah,
come on.
Fred, who's the biggest near me, he's one parish over, but nearest to me. He just got one. He's doing very well with it. But I maybe I need to put one on my site.
Dude, I had a giant penis printed for it so it could like pee on come on people, and I had freaking like I had a giant joint that lit up and smoked. I got all.
Yeah, I thought you had that.
I had it all in my warehouse and stuff like that. First of all, it didn't look like what they told me it would look like. They sent me the pictures. But second of all, my business partner basically screwed me over out of like 24K. So
Get a bull, Nick. Like,
yeah, it's a whole long story. It's ongoing stuff. I shouldn't even talk about it. But yeah. It's just wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought you already had all that stuff.
No, I did. It was no, it's a whole thing.
That's a thing. That sounds like a thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, either way.
So let's get back to the original topic.
Equipment.
I don't know how many newbies are in here or how many people are going to watch this video, and there's probably going to be a lot of people that will watch it once he uploads it. But I truly, truly, truly think people don't need to go out and buy a ton of stuff to start this business. 100% believe that. 100% believe you don't need to go take your credit card and max it. I 100% believe that you don't buy stuff without thinking or looking at what your competitors have. You know, just those 3 little things right there is going to help you get started. You know, don't everybody wants a big slide. oh, wow, let's get a 22, 24 footer. No, start with the 18 footers. It's not going to hurt you. You know, an adult can go down 18 footer. Hell, my little 15-foot brain freeze from Jump Orange, I've had adults go down that. Yeah, they slam their ass right into that wall, but you know what? They're going to go down it a couple times and that's going to be it. You know, so spend the money on an 18-footer. Wet dry combos, I don't do wet dry combos, so I have no experience and I cannot give experience to anybody. It may work for other people, it don't work for me.
I love wet dry combos. You can fit
You know,
4 of them.
the 18-foot water slides are for sure renter. That will rent as quickly as a 22-footer will rent. I've got 4 18-footers and they go out consistently. I'm not going to say every weekend, but they consistently go out to where they stay wet and I don't have to consistently keep drying, pack them away, dry them, pack them away. So 18-footers is a good buy for anybody who's starting out. Bounce houses, it's good to have a couple in your inventory, but I think I've got 11 bounce houses. And I bet if I pulled up my ERS page, I didn't rent all of them out last year. So it's good to have a couple bounce houses, have a girl, have a boy theme. And when I say that, the pink and purple, multicolor, you're done. They'll go for either party. You know, so I think that to this original reason for this meeting tonight, the fact of just use common sense by looking at what your competitors have and buy stuff, and if it rents, you know that's what you need to have. If you go out and buy 5 different things and only 3 of the 5 things rent, don't buy those other 2. Buy the 3 that do rent. It's a lot of common sense with this business as to what works for you. So that would be my final thought on this whole meeting is start with small stuff. When I say small, don't buy a whole bunch of stuff. Small inventory. Grow from there. Grow from what you can do. Grow from what your demographics allow you to grow. And then you will just expand from there. You will keep expanding. Before you know it, you'll go from 3 units, 5 units, 10 units, 15, and then you're at 22 talking to us and going, well, look at me. So, you know, that just common sense, smart. Think before you buy. And when you do buy, make sure it's something that you know you can rent. If you don't know you can rent it, don't buy it. Because that's just money you just threw right out that window. You know, buy stuff that you know you can rent. On top of that, buy stuff that you know you can handle. In case you get screwed, you get employees or people that don't show up for work, which it happens every flipping weekend in this business. Buy something that you know you can do. You know, so if you're a 58-year-old guy like me, that 24-foot slide looks really sweet. But if you buy it, you better make damn sure good and well you can do it. So you need to think about that, which goes back to what Justin said of learning what you can do and how you can do it. You know, all this kind of combines together. And this was a really, you know, some of this Zoom kind of got off on onto the wrong step here, but it generally, I think everybody should take into effect what was said at the beginning and think about it. Think about your purchases. You know, IAPA is a great place to go to, but honestly, if you can't afford to go, you can get all the sales not being at the show. You can learn everything also that you would learn at the show from the people that have been there. So, you know, don't rush yourself. Don't rush yourself at all with this business. I started out with 2 bounce houses and a 12-foot water slide. I thought I was God in the industry. And now I have 60 units. Doesn't sound like a lot, but to me, that's a lot. So it grows. You will grow. You will just grow. Before you know it, you will grow, and you don't even have to try, because you will be making sales. You will be making money, and then all of a sudden you're going to say to your wife and say, "Yeah, we need another water slide." And you're going to have another water slide in inventory, and you're going to say, "Well, maybe we better get another combo." You're going to get another combo, and these are all rent, and before you know it, you have a full-time job. So buy smart, start slow, in my opinion. Don't add stuff you don't need. And if any of you guys want to reach out to me, you are more than welcome.
If I was starting, I would start with like just 4 combos. Some four combos, wet, dry, do whatever you want. If you want to do it dry like Mark only, but you know what I mean? But like wet, dry, you have the option to do both at least. So like Mark, you don't do wet, dry, but all your combos are wet, dry units, right?
No, I don't. I do no wet combos.
You don't. No, I'm saying you don't rent them out wet, but are the units themselves wet, dry units that can be handle the water?
Yes, I believe probably half of them probably can.
Yeah,
but
I like
most of them are
units
specifically made dry.
Yeah, I like some of units they make specifically dry. I don't like that because at the end of the day, these are going to eventually get rained on no matter what. So having that, like, you know what I mean, the ability is just, you know what I mean. I like that. That's just my opinion. But 4 combos you can fit in like the back of like a 8-foot bed and stuff like that. You can fit like 3 of them in there. About 4 combos. You could sling that out yourself if you need to, if you want to get started, and they could pay for your insurance and make some money in your pocket. That's my opinion. It's a good way to start.
I just wanted to piggyback off of something that Mark was saying, but think about what you bought. We went and purchased a 25-foot water slide, and it's just me and my wife. So that thing sat in our backyard for a good 3-4 months before we just decided to sell it and get rid of it.
Sorry, my little girl needed she's about to be back. She woke up and needed something. Now she's about to be back. But
hey, I agree with Justin. Wet dry combos all the way.
yeah, Mark,
hands down.
Wet dry combos? What is that?
Hands down, wet dry combos. Nothing wrong with it. If you want to mess with wet, that's fine. But back to the topic, like Mark said, don't, when you first start off, you get excited and you want to start buying a bunch of shit when you don't realize that there's a lot of shit that you need. Like there was this one guy here in town, like he started buying nothing but bounces, but he didn't have a trailer. So then when you'd see him in the roads, he'd have everything on his bed and it just looked funny. But get what you need first. Like I wanted a 27-foot water slide with the slip and slide. Now I don't. Hell no, I don't. Hell no, I don't. I don't want to. It sucks rolling an 18-footer by yourself. It really does. I mean, yeah, they have straps for it, but dude, hell no. I don't even want to imagine a 27-footer with the slip and slide. Hell no. Keep that.
Really short. The 27-foot part is really short, so it like folds on like perfectly. It's weird.
Nah, but don't fall in love with your units too. Don't. No, those are my very first one. I said I was never gonna sell it, and I just sold that shit 2 months ago. It was yellow. I hate yellow.
There's a tent and table one I love. It's a solid unit, man. It's a 16-footer. It's solid.
Oh, that dual lane.
Or 15, yeah, it's a dual lane too.
Yeah, that's good, dude. I don't have no. We got 2 tent and table dry combos that rent. Insane. Most popular units we have. But we used to have, excuse me, 18-foot water slide from tent and table. Bro, that thing, one man roll. No problem. Very impressive. Oh, Mark had Cheetos. I got lunch.
Bro,
Kirk, do
bro.
you like that dry only one? That one? It's so big to go indoors, I feel.
It's pretty sweet. I haven't had no indoor event yet. That was my first. That was my first printout actually.
That thing's a big motherfucker. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's the kids love it though. They love it.
I love my. I have it. So I like, dude. I love toddler units. Who here is toddler units?
I have one.
I love
I
my
need to get
toddler
some
units.
more.
Like, my toddler units, like at least one or two of them go out every single weekend. I have two of them.
Well,
Is that like the soft play units, Justin, or just like you have a
No,
smaller,
it's just like
just like a smaller one?
the bouncing angel is just like a small little bounce house with a dry slide. It's like made for. I tell people it's literally made for like 8-year-olds and under, and you can only fit like 4 or 5 of them in there. That's about it, and it can fit inside a garage perfectly. So it's like cool for the winter and stuff like that in people's houses.
Yeah, like a normal toddler unit has low walls and no roof, so the parents can stand on the outside and watch the kids bounce.
Yeah, this unit is like it's small. It's like super small and like compact and safe, so you can't really mess around as far as like it's like one of those units, but like way beefier. Then they have like those bigger toddler units. Like those are like toddler play areas. I wouldn't call them like a toddler bounce house. They have those toddler play areas. They're just like huge play areas. The parents can like see over and stuff like that because the walls are lower and stuff like that. That's like a different story too. Those are cool too. I don't have one of those. Like I bet you, I'm thinking about getting one.
Yeah, I got ours in a buyout back in 2019 forever ago. So one unit I have left from them. It's not very easy to roll. It might be 18-ounce vinyl. It's a thicky thick, but it's got the low walls. So I always mark, and the super small dry slide. So I just mark it as a toddler one because the people can see over. Anybody else got questions? I feel like we haven't been rolling. We haven't been rolling for too
I'm
long.
just starting, so oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. So how many, I was thinking of getting a slide next or getting one more wet dry combo and then a slide. How many units do you think I should have before I add just a water slide?
How many do you have now?
One. I'm starting with just one.
Yeah, I would go. Well, also, where are you?
California.
Where at in California?
Central.
Like Modesto?
Like a little farther south.
Whereas
like
no-
the central, the San Joaquin Valley to be exact.
Okay. I would
Like
go combo for sure for a few more units. Your weather's gonna be real mild.
Well, guys, y'all shut y'all's microphone off if you're not talking.
I don't even know who that was. Yeah, I would go combos for a few units, and then I don't know anybody in the middle of California, so I don't know the market at all. But water slides for sure soonish, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I've looked around. I've seen a mix of just about everything for some businesses around here within about 20 miles of me or so.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was kind of undecided.
Yeah, I don't think you can make the wrong decision whatever you buy, but my gut says
It's hot here most of the year, so yeah, I was thinking
yeah,
something that can get wet definitely is a good way to go.
Are you in California part where it's already starting to get warm now? Because I know California was pretty cold there for the longest of time.
Yeah, so I'm in the middle, so it's been, even now we're still getting some rainy days, so it's just been
Are you in the 80s and above?
We have been for like the last couple of days. It keeps going hot and cold still on us, but yeah,
So your summertime coming pretty quick.
Yeah, it gets
Okay.
pretty hot during
You
the
probably
summer.
should get you at least an 18-foot water slide if you want to get going and not get going too fast. You need to get some water stuff in there.
See, that's kind of what I was thinking too, because a family member shared my info on their social media, and then she said most of the people were asking for a water slide.
Okay, are you in an area where it's restricted, where you can't have pools, you can only have splash landing?
I don't know if there's any restriction on either one, but I was.
Because I know some places out there they restrict swimming pools and have to have splash landings. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably have to look on that more. I wasn't really a fan of the deep pool myself from what I was seeing, but.
Well, splash landing slides are great. I mean, I've got 4 or 5
Yeah.
of them. I mean, they rent out great. They're good. They're a good, safe renter. And you.
Yeah, I don't want to have like a drowning hazard, you know.
I just want to jump in real quick. Thank y'all for what y'all are doing. Really appreciate y'all's time. I got to get going though.
Thanks, Cody.
Y'all have a good one.
So I think, Janet, that 18, you know, if you don't have water slides, you know, you are coming into summer. That's your money. You know, summer is warm. They're going to want water stuff. You know.
Yeah, I got a wet dry combo from Jump Orange is what I'm starting with. So at least it's a small slide. Is what
Did you already pay for Gem?
No, I didn't get a membership with them. Just because I didn't know how long it was going to be till I was going to be investing in any more units, just because I don't know, you know, it's kind of hard to gauge how quickly or how many rentals I'll get. And I didn't want to bite off more than I could chew.
Okay, so okay, so everybody, what she just said is what I was trying to say earlier. Don't just go out there and start buying a bunch of units. Start
Count
slow
your eggs before they hatch. Yeah.
And, you know, she's this person's a perfect example because she's not sure, but you do need a couple more units. There's no question about it. You know, one unit's not going to make your money. You need at least a couple more units, and I would definitely invest in water slides, even if it's the splash landing water slides.
That's what I was wanting to do. I just wasn't sure if that was a bad move and if I should just stick to the combos just because I have like no inventory.
I can't say anything onto your area out there, but water slides rent. I mean, wet dry combos rent too. I listen to other people, they talk about it. You know, that I think you need to have water. If you don't have any, I think you need to have water slides in your inventory. And you know, let's see, I know Jingle Jump out there makes an 18-foot splash landing water slide. Jump Orange does not make the small splash landing except for 15-footers. And then you go to the big guys, which I can't tell you everything that's going on with Jump Orange, but I can tell you that you will be very, very pleasantly surprised with what's coming down the pike, everybody. But you know, you could probably find you some really good used splash landing water slides to get started. You know, once you start making money, then invest in buying something new, you know?
Yeah.
And Table pretty much has pretty much all of them are splash.
Right, they're all splash landing, but I'm trying to avoid her having to do with the shipping out there. I mean, she's got a ton of companies out there.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I looked at Magic Jump and Ninja Jump because those are actually in LA. Shush, please. So some pretty good companies near me.
I think you should definitely invest in a water slide and
get a dual lane.
You know, and
hey, give me please. Stop.
Invest your money right back into invest your money right back into the business. Don't try to, unless you.
Yeah, my question was how soon is too soon? Like as soon as I get enough for a unit, should I just right away get another unit or wait a little longer?
Do you have a full-time job?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then if it was me, I would build up your money, and when you have enough to purchase another unit, I would purchase another unit, is the way I would do it. If you have a full-time job that you're living off of that money at this point, I
Mhm.
would take your rental money. As soon as you get enough to purchase another rental, another unit to rent, that's what I would do. But you only have one right now. You're gonna have to bite the bullet
Yeah.
and buy at least one more or maybe two more to start renting and see an income. One rental is not going to show you an income. You're gonna look at it and go, okay, I made 800 extra
Yeah,
this month. You don't want
that's
that.
all
Do
I
you have a
could kind of do
savings?
on my own right now without, because I looked at like the leases are just ridiculous on the bounce houses. I couldn't like justify paying that just to get more inventory, you know? So
Do you have
yeah,
money in a savings?
not much right now. That's
No,
why I'm
don't
like,
touch
oh,
that. Don't touch that. No, then she's basically starting out like a normal person, starting a company. You're
I feel
starting
like
with
Well,
most
bare
well,
people
I
bones.
have
asked
at
that in
least
case.
3.
You know,
Yeah, I asked that in case she had more than just like the emergency fund.
you got it, understand.
No.
But she is definitely starting out like someone, a bare bones, I'm gonna say non-entrepreneur, starting to become an entrepreneur. I mean, that's basically what you are doing here, and you're starting the hard way, which is a good thing because you will learn the hard way the things that you don't want to do and can do. I still believe that if there's any possible way you can put another unit into your rental inventory, you will start seeing money coming in to where you can put it to the side and go, okay, here it's 2 months went by. I might have enough money to purchase another one, and you start growing that way. I mean, that's the only way I could say for you to do it, because it sounds like you need that full-time job so you can live, which we all do.
Yeah, I think
And
realistically, within a month or so, I can probably swing getting another one. I just wanted to see, you know, if it'll rent, and then I was gonna do what a lot of the others here do and put units that I want to buy on my site and see, you know, if anybody bites on them and see, you know, that'll kind of help me decide what unit I want
well,
to
you're
go
in the
for
warm
next.
season. You're getting into warm season, so they're going to want water stuff. So you need to remember that. I like her little moon man back there, by the way.
I know she's been working on that. I saw that in the jumpstart.
Thank you. Yeah, I've gotten good feedback from everybody. Awesome. Sorry, I got a fussy guy right now.
Oh, you're good. Good questions.
Does anyone do like dynamic pricing? Like bunch of combos and put different prices on them?
I have different price for dry versus wet dry, but that's it. Not super dynamic.
I have for dry and wet separate, which I want to combine to both. One price.
I got different prices on my units.
I mean,
How
it's
does
easier
that
to pick
go?
up dry. I see a lot of people that say that people lie and stuff about it, about using it wet, but I have never had any issues. I mean, I've never had nobody say, "Oh, I used it dry and it's all wet all over the place." I've never had that issue, so. But
That's funny.
I've always kept.
I definitely have that. You're like, okay.
You're like, yeah, sure. But it doesn't rain a lot here in Texas, other than this year. But like you kind of know when it rains, and then you know when they use it wet. You can just tell. But
Is that I've thought about like maybe lowering a little bit or hiring on
dry.
the other end. No. Well, we charge wet because we're northeast, so we kind of have to keep it split. But
Yeah.
for instance, like I have units that rent all the time, but then I have units that don't rent as much, but they're priced the same amount. So I'm thinking of kind of separating, like making it a little higher for say the ones that rent a lot, or a little lower for the ones that don't rent as much.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Does
I
anyone do something like that?
To scare away somebody that was wanted to rent the popular 18-foot slide, but it's $330 instead of $305 or whatever. I didn't ever want to scare them away, so I never tried within its own category, so to speak.
I mean, like me, like I have my single link combos, which is all the same design. They're all at 275 wet, 250 dry. Certain color schemes go out more than others. So what I decided to do with the ones that don't go out, the ones that I see the market saturated with the same unit that I have for like the red and blue, like I'll put that in with the package. And then what I'll do, I'll put it in with like a package with like a snow cone machine and like a Connect 4, and I'll drop it like 10 or 15 bucks. That's about it. But as for like my dual lane combos, like from EZ, those are heavy as shit. Those I have for like 325 because they're double lane, big pull. My single lane combos are all splash pads, so but those usually go out a lot. But I see what you're saying. Or you could even do,
Because even the weight thing is a factor
yeah,
too.
it's a
Like my
big weight
easy,
thing.
my Jurassic Easy's
Massive, right?
400.
Freaking heavy,
Her-
right? I have the tropical combo, which is basically the same design. You know, it has the palm tree material. Dude, that one's massive. I hate doing that one. We call that one Big Bertha. I hate it. I hate it because it's so heavy, but it's a very popular renter. And I really love Easy Inflatables. That's who I get a lot of my stuff with. But yeah, like that one, I ain't dropping that price. Like if it goes out, hell yeah. If it doesn't, hey, I'll let it sit. I ain't dropping
How
that
much does it
price.
weigh?
Probably the same as the dyno. It's the same thing. It's a double lane with the pull combo inside. About the same, I would say, maybe less, probably 350. I know it's freaking heavy. I know that's for sure.
One thing I want to if I can, one thing I want to mention to Jenna, something that I experienced when I started out, my first water slide, you know, which is a great hit for me, but nobody ever told me, hey, you know, look at the weight. So my first water slide was an 18-foot ultimate jumpers. That baby was 495 pounds.
Those are heavy.
I've seen
So
that. Yeah, I have a
so
husband too to
starting
help.
out, not having the right dolly, not having a
Yep.
trailer. So I don't know your situation, but that's something that you might want to look at. I wish somebody would have told me that. Now I'm in a better position where it's I mean, it goes out every weekend. I love that slide, but you know, compared to like a jingle jump water slide, you know, where they weight so much less. And I remember being in these groups and everybody telling me, well, you know, is it a dual lane? Why are you having so much trouble? But being new, just starting, trying to get your rhythm, or like Mark mentioned, you know, trying to figure out how to roll them, what works best for you. And with to me, an 18 was perfect size, but the weight was not until, you know, later on I got more tools, or the better tools, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Anna, how much does your combo weigh?
I believe it's around a couple 100 pounds. So not too bad. I mean, I think I can manage it on my own, but I have my husband that would be able to help. And then I've looked at, so just like basic hand trucks, they say they can do 800 pounds, but I mean, I'll probably, that's why I was thinking, should I wait to get the dollies, or they call them hand trucks, that are rated for up to 800 pounds. I've seen them like at Costco and Harbor Freight, around the same price range. So I was thinking, is it better to get a motorized one before you jump up to a water slide?
I think you need at least one with 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
At
these both
minimum.
have that, the 2, or they're adjustable. They have the 4-wheel too.
The Harbor Freight with the 4 wheels, isn't that kind of light, if I remember?
It's real skinny.
I don't know. It says it could do 800 pounds, but
yeah, then the wheels that kick down are not what you think they are. That's fair.
I have that yellow one from Granite Industries. I hate how short it is. I wish it was taller. Which I could probably get someone to weld something up.
Yeah, it's always such a to do though. Like I'm not into that. But Jana, no, you shouldn't know. I mean, the motorized dolly is the cost of the slide. Like a big slide. So no, muscle them around until, you know, maybe 8 units is when you get a motorized dolly, but
That was the plan, just because I'm like, to drop that much money on that dolly. I'm like, I'd rather buy more units. Yeah.
I was over 20 before I got my first one.
Uh-huh.
So, for whatever, and we probably worked too hard for too long for how busy we were. But yeah, Mark had good advice where, like, if you got the full-time job, you don't need the money coming in from the inflatable, then use that money to buy the next one, and use all that money to buy the next one. You don't take any money yet, so you can scale. I think that's the right move.
At what point did you start hiring employees? Like how many units or?
Yeah, it was close to 20. I grew kind of quickly there in the very early stages. But I mean, I hired the next door neighbor kid to clean them.
Yeah.
Like that was the best move ever, because cleaning them was just such a drag to me. And then at the time I had gotten my real estate license, because I was kind of lost and floating, trying to figure out how to be an entrepreneur. So I was like, let me get a real estate license, I guess. So I was trying to be a real estate agent. So I hired a guy to run a lot of the business there while I tried to play a real estate agent for a couple months, maybe. I don't even know if it's that long. And then it was like, I hated trying to be a real estate agent. I hated real estate with a passion. So then I came back. But yeah, I mean, hire a cleaner. I don't know. Yeah, again, probably that 8 unit range, 5 to 8.
Okay, my job now. So I'm is perfect for this because I have Friday. Usually, most weeks I have Friday and Saturday off, and I work from home on Sunday, which is pretty much like being off. I just have to call and email people here and there. So, it really works to my advantage too for getting rentals out and just having time to work on stuff. And honestly, I get to work on stuff while I'm at work too. I was doing logos and trying to, I'll do Zoom meetings and stuff while I'm at work. So it works out real swell for me.
Yeah, that's perfect. I would invest all the money into the next unit for sure.
Do you have every weekend off?
Pretty much. Not this weekend, but it was
So what would you do if you had a rental? Or do you
make
just
my
block
husband
it
do
off?
it.
As long as you have a backup
Have
plan.
my husband handle it, I think.
Do you
I
mainly
think-
solo them?
Do I mainly what?
Solo them?
Well, we're just starting, so we haven't even had any bookings yet. We're in the process of like getting the site going. Matter of fact, we just got it delivered today, so that's how early we are. So we have an LLC and everything, but and we're
Have you
signed
set
with
it up?
the bounce house.
Yeah.
Not yet. We haven't taken it out of the box yet. It just got here earlier today, and it's been just busy with the kids. We were gonna probably get out this weekend and give
Definitely
it a
make
test
sure to
run.
watch Nick's videos on rolling it.
I have watched a few already, yeah.
Or you
But
might
I'll
do
go
what I
back,
did
I'm sure.
with my first water slide and just said screw it and just left it overnight and researched again.
I'm sure I'll reference them again for sure after we try to actually roll it.
Yeah. Keep coming on every week. You know what I mean? We'll give you advice, and it'll be exciting to see you grow.
Thanks, I appreciate it. You guys are like a gold mine.
Thank you. Davida, do you have a question? You've had your hand up for what I feel like is like 9,000 hours. So I hope you're still listening.
Yes. Did you call my name?
Yeah. You had a question.
Yes. I think you guys answered my question through Jana's question. I I was able to join what is it? AA. I can't even remember the name of the
AA Pros.
No, the event in Florida. Someone invited me to that, and I bought 2 units from Jason is his name. From Bounce Wave, iApple.
Oh,
iApple. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, there's like an ARA or something in Orlando.
Yeah. So I bought 2 units from Jason and last year, and I bought 2 used units off of Marketplace. My question was, I have enough money to buy another unit, but I don't have a dolly. I'm not sure if you guys see the picture that I've been pointing at, but this is my makeshift dolly I've been using to deliver my units. And I have a dual lane water slide 18-inch that I bought from Jason and a combo. I bought a combo from Jason. And I have a single slide.
First question, how awesome are those units from Jason?
I love them. Oh my gosh, they're
Yeah,
heavy.
they're so fast. Yeah, they're heavy, but they
Yeah,
have that new vinyl. They're so fast. They're so good.
yes, I love it. So when I was at the event, I ended up getting the photo booth 360, and I started that business first because my bounce houses took forever to come. So I started doing photo booth 360 for like 6 months. Then my bounce houses came by the time it was like middle of summer. So I pretty much didn't do anything with it until this summer. Now I'm pretty much been booked from April to all the way now until July, but I don't have a dolly. Should I get a dolly or should I get another water slide?
What dolly? How are you moving them now?
This dolly here. Can you see my picture I'm
I can't
pointing
see
at?
anything.
Oh no, the video.
Okay.
Yeah, the video's not.
Here you go.
Oh, what?
This dolly. My husband made this dolly.
It's made out of 2x4s and
2x6. Yeah.
Tell your husband Mother's Day is this weekend and upgrade you.
Huh?
Tell your husband Mother's Day is this weekend and upgrade you.
I know I can get an upgrade, but I can only get one. So should I get a
Tell him to do it. He's
motorized
the husband.
dolly?
Is Mother's Day this weekend. Tell him to upgrade you.
No, don't get the motorized. Don't get motorized. Where do you live at again?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Plus, motorized would come in the fall or winter by now.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be there.
Then he saw, and I heard someone said, "Don't buy from Badass Dolly." He was like, "I see this one from Badass," and I was like, "They just said don't buy Badass Dolly."
Yeah,
So
definitely don't. Yeah, I would go buy. So, you can go to Rolls-All and get their non-motorized dolly, the one with 4 wheels. Like Kevin said, get 4 wheels for sure. I think it's $1,400. Or the one that Spacewalk sells that's kind of like not going to future proof you, like you can't use it on real big stuff. It'll be fine for everything you have. Is $650, something like that, as opposed to $4,000 or $5,000 for a motorized dolly. Like,
okay. The reason why I say motorized because I'm a girl and my husband got his own HVAC business, and I do have help, but I'm paying my help like $100 to every delivery.
Oh, you're paying way too much.
Yeah, so if I have this motorized dolly and my son that's 15, me and him can do it together.
Yeah, I got you. It's your call. I think it's too early to buy a motorized dolly, and then you should be paying your help about $15 per drop, $15 per pick.
That's it? $15?
Maybe 20 because you're somewhere more popular than me, but yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I'm paying him like $100 every delivery.
That and pick up?
No, just pick up and drop off.
Yeah.
That's like 6 hours of W-2 labor.
Right. I pay my guys so if I send a truck of 2 guys, between the 2 guys they make $30 an hour no matter what. We kind of split it up differently depending on who's working. But they pay $30 an hour if there's 2 guys. If it's a combo, you know what I mean, kind of in the off season, it's just a 1 guy thing, they're making $18. So $18 an hour doesn't even take an hour to grab a combo. Alone, you're talking maybe 45 minutes if you tarp it. right? So do the math. What's 3/4 of 18? It's pretty close to $15. So
Yeah, gotta find some cheaper guys.
yeah, maybe 20.
Mhm.
But then that, saves you money to be able to scale the business.
Don't tell your worker that Nick told you to pay them less.
No. Do say it was my fault, so then they can get mad at me, and you can be like, Nick said it. I can do that. I
Right.
got your back on that
Nick's gonna have a crosshair on him.
for sure. I live far away, so
That guy was making bank, Nick. How dare you?
yeah, we had somebody at the Christmas light training we had that also is a bounce house. Most everybody that's at the Christmas light training was a bounce house person. Stephanie, and she was, I don't remember what the number was, but like most of my employees were at the meeting and just kind of helping out, like, doing whatever they need to do. And she said she was paying them like $100 a drop and $100 a pickup or something like that. I don't know. My guys were like, "We're out. We're moving to Georgia later." Because I was just like, "Oh my God, that's so much money. It's insane." And I get it. Good people are hard to find, but
Yeah, but you're not making anything with that.
no. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, my profit margin through the first 4 months of the year, a quarter plus a month, we were negative. We were in the hole, right? And I'm on payroll and not on the delivery team very often, right? So that's a major part of that. But I mean, it's not like the profit margin's like scary high where you can just, you know what I mean, spend a lot of money. So yeah, go to spacewalksales.com, buy the super mover dolly. They just got a whole bunch in. They're 600 something bucks. You have to pay for shipping, but you're pretty close to here, so shouldn't be more than 150 bucks, I think. And then you've got
So Nick, for that dolly, the Spacewalk USA, you said that you wouldn't use it for heavier units, or they're
yeah,
not for heavier?
you start getting over 500 pounds, and the wheels are all static, like there's no pivoting wheels. So in order to move it, you got to give it like a little pop a wheelie move. It's very, very easy to do, but you end up putting a lot of stress on 2 wheels instead of all 4 a lot of the time, and you break the freaking hubs. The wheels pop right off the hubs, and you got to get them welded back on. It's a whole thing. And the wheels are outsourced to a place called Deal Associates, and they charge $50 a wheel, and it's absolute murder, highway robbery. So, not super stoked on you guys. Deal Associates; those are very expensive wheels, and they break very easily.
With the manual roll saws you mentioned earlier, I know you have a relationship with them. Are there any available?
Yeah, Tommy. I talked to Tommy 2 weeks ago. He was in town, and he said he can build. It was like ridiculous, like 7 manual dollies in a day or something like that. So he can pretty much get you one. Like they're not ready to ship, but they can be done in like a week or whatever. You can get them really fast. All right. Anybody else got questions? Because we can.
And when you said the wheel broke, what did you mean by that? Because I think that's what kind of happened to my yellow one.
So like right, so you have the tire, and then you have like the rim, or I guess wheel, and then there's the piece that goes on the axle. And on those the super mover dolly, it's like this side is almost flush, but then that little axle piece goes this way, and so there's kind of leverage on this side of the go higher on this side of the wheel. So when if this is the back wheel, you pop it up and move it over. Every time you do that, you're putting a little bit of pressure on that hub, that centerpiece, and eventually it just pops off, and the hub is still on the axle, and then you have a tire and a wheel with like a big hole in the middle. And so the best way to fix that on those super mover dollies is go have somebody weld it back together. But if you don't know a welder, don't have one on your crew, which I didn't for a long time, it's a whole thing. And then yeah, every wheel is like, it's like $42 and then like $28 shipping. So like after shipping it, so it's like $60 a wheel. and they're the same exact garbage they sell at Harbor Freight, the exact same one, except the diameter of the axle is, I believe, 3/4 of an inch instead of a 1/2 inch. You can't find 3/4 of an inch diameter wheels anywhere but freaking Deal Associates. So you can't go buy a replacement. It doesn't exist. I've looked everywhere. I've tried everything.
So I guess that's what must have happened to my dolly, because I often, with the heavier units, to turn it, I'll kind of put my weight to like pop a wheelie to turn it. Because one of the wheels, it's just shakes so much. And they sent me like a replacement for like the middle piece, but I got to figure out how to even change that out. I don't know. I got to look it up.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I mean, there's just, it's so hard to get a good dolly. It's wild.
I'm just waiting for my Rosal. It should have arrived a month ago.
Yeah,
It's
they're
3 more
behind.
weeks.
They're
This is the
behind
second
because
time they're saying that.
Austin was in the freaking hospital for, I don't remember, I think a week or two. And then Tommy's wife, who helps run Rosal, then right after that, she was in the hospital too. So that's why they're behind.
I had told him that, like, look, I know you're behind and stuff. And I'm glad they have a lot of business. Just get it to me before the schools in June, if possible, at minimum.
Yeah, the
But
school.
I get it. Things happen. It would
Yeah.
just be nice before, because I don't think the yellow dolly is gonna cut it too much with the way the wheel is for like my 700-pound whatever units and stuff.
Yeah,
Obstacles.
definitely. You're definitely right.
My easy inflatable water slide, I'm like hearing it like dying, like the dolly dying, moving. That one, the 22-footer dual lane.
Yeah, you might be able to
But,
find. I don't know what that one from Granite looks like.
see.
I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I bet you can find that wheel somewhere.
I know on their website, it's like what you said, it's like $50. I might just buy the wheel just for the hell of it. Tariq
Yeah.
has like 20 of them. You see in like his warehouse videos, all those yellow ones. Yeah, those are the ones that he says like him and his guys love, but I still feel like it's too short. But
Yeah, you're right. You should just buy the wheel because you're not going to be one dolly wonder forever. You have to hire another guy, another truck, whatever.
yeah.
All right, cool. I think we should end her. We'll end her right there. So you guys are awesome.
Yep. You have a good night, Nick. It was good seeing you.
Absolutely, brother. You too.
Like and subscribe.
Please do subscribe to the channel. Do all of it. All right. I'm gonna go wrangle up some food out of the refrigerator.
Thanks, Nick.
Good booze and biz, guys. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, man.